Welcome to What If Legend. What if Naruto became the ultimate leveling shinobi? Let's get right into today. What if Naruto?
Naruto shook his head, convinced this was all a lucid dream he was experiencing. It had been 2 days since he stole the Forbidden Scroll and fought with Mizuki, and achieved his goal of becoming a genin of the Hidden Leaf. The whole experience was exhilarating enough. He deserved a rest. With a grunt, he fell back to sleep, forgetting the whole box situation instantly. Rays of light entered his small apartment as the sun began rising in the east, signifying the start of day to the entire village of Konoha. Naruto felt his eyes start to slowly blink open, yawning in satisfaction of a good night's sleep. He grinned widely as he saw Irika's headband perched bracingly on the corner of his desk. Maybe he could sleep for a bit longer. Ding! Player has slept. MP and HP restored. Naruto's eyes widened in horror as his nightmares materialized in front of him. It wasn't a dream. A genjutsu? Naruto thought, forgetting he went through the same process last night. I should have listened to Irika-sensei's class. Level 4 VIT class? What's all this? Naruto looked through all his stats in wonder. If it wasn't a genjutsu, it must be. Well, he didn't know. But he could understand a bit from the status window. His level was his current ability, and STR most likely stood for strength, but he wasn't sure. But the real question stood. Why was all this happening? New skill achieved, deduction LVL 1. Huh. That's not too bad. Naruto thought with a contemplative look. So if he got better at certain skills, the level would increase? If this thing showed all the skills and talents he had, what's the issue with it? It was just like real life, but he could track his own abilities better. That was all there was to it. Yeah, definitely all there was. No issues whatsoever. Right. Jumping out of bed, Naruto prepared to dress himself. He opened his closet to reveal his infamous orange jumpsuit. Quickly putting it on, he came to realize that the blue box had disappeared. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Ding! Or not. New quest: first step to greatness created. Quest details: go to academy, get assigned to a ninja team, and become a ninja of Konoha. Quest rewards: EXP 1000, become a true ninja. Failure: dream of becoming Hokage crushed mercilessly. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. Naruto's eyes widened at the conditions placed next to the failure option. Not become Hokage? Hell no! Did that mean he needed to accept the quest? And what was EXP? But considering it was in the rewards tab, it couldn't be something bad. What was wrong with accepting the quest anyways? How do I accept the quest? Damn it! I should have taken the tutorial. Yes? Quest accepted. That was easy. Time for some breakfast, Naruto said cheerfully, putting the blue box out of his mind for the moment. Irika had previously told him that tunnel visioning wouldn't be a good thing for a Hokage to do. If there was one thing the blonde was good at, it was treating things that are really important like a joke. He opened the door to his fridge, and his mood immediately brightened. Instant ramen and milk, what more could a future Hokage want? Would the player like to observe the ingredients? Observe? Sure. Items: carton of milk, a dozen pack of instant ramen. Observing. Alert! Carton of milk may contain poison. Effects include diarrhea, sickness, and overall weakness. What the? The spiky blonde shouted. Poison? He drank these regularly. Naruto checked the carton with urgency, before coming to an obvious realization. It's expired, Naruto whispered. No. After the screams of frustration died out, he decided it was best to stick with water for the day, and maybe buy some new cartons when he came back from the academy. Even though I lost some milk, this box seriously just prevented a horrible day from happening, Naruto thought seriously. He finished his breakfast in a hurry, tied on his headband, and made his way to the academy. I wonder who I'm gonna be in a team with. Well, he obviously wanted to be in a team with Sakura the most. Maybe Shikamaru or Choji. Kiba would also be alright, to be fair. Sasuke. He seriously didn't want to be in the same team as the Doge. They were rivals. Competitors. Naruto shuddered. Damn. I'm gonna be late for class. The blonde went by his usual shortcut to the academy, going by roofs, suspicious alleyways, and empty roads. Ding! Skill: running has increased by 1 level. Running is now LVL 6. Neat! Naruto thought as he rounded the final turn to the academy. He went into the building with confidence, making sure to flash his new headband to every teacher he walked past. And then he went into the class. "What's Naruto doing here?" Sakura asked instantly, being near the entrance when he entered. "Naruto?" I thought he failed. Putting on his signature grin, Naruto put a finger to his headband. "I'm the future Hokage. Why are y'all so surprised? This headband is Izuka's." "Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that last part." "You stole Iruka-sensei's headband?" Kiba asked, shocked. "Too far, man." No. He gave it to me. I earned it," Naruto exclaimed, quick to crush the misunderstanding. Ding! New skill achieved, public speaking LVL1. He's right, guys. Naruto swerved his head around to meet the eyes of his hero, Iruka-sensei. Tears animatedly poured from his eyes as he profusely thanked the man. After a quick reprimanding, he went to his seat. He had been waiting for this moment for 2 days. The satisfaction of proving the others wrong was more than worth the wait. If there was one thing Naruto loved, it was proving people wrong. That was one of the reasons he was becoming Hokage in the first place. His blue eyes went to the local emo, who looked ahead in contemplation, not sparing a glance to the other students, nor the fangirls sitting around him. "Humph, think you're so cool? Wait till you see my new jutsu." Naruto smiled in pride as he remembered the jutsu he learned from the Forbidden Scroll. It was the first real jutsu he had ever learned, other than his also infamous henge jutsus. Last night he spent the day making clones and creating conversations with them, which, in hindsight, sounds incredibly lonely. The realization sobered his mood again. "This is so boring," Naruto said out loud. "When will the teams be announced?" "Be patient, Naruto," Iruka shouted from the podium. "First period hasn't even started yet." He needed something to appease his boredom. Where was that blue box? And there it was. The shiny, blue box appeared in front of his eyes, visible to only. Wait. Was he the only one who could see the thing? "Hey Sakura!" Naruto yelled to the pink-haired girl. The girl had her patented look of annoyance present on her face as she looked at Naruto. "What?" And nothing. An awkward pause issues shortly after. "Nothing, hee," Naruto said bashfully, hand on his hair. Weirdo. So, that proved another point. Naruto was the only one who could see the shimmering blue box in front of him right now. That made him feel good, for some strange reason. He was special. Level 4, is that low or high? Naruto thought with a frown. I observe the items in my fridge. Does that mean I can observe other people? Skill, deduction has increased by a level. Deduction is now LVL2. Naruto looked at the closest student, who happened to be Shikamaru. The pineapple-headed boy was fast asleep, lightly snoring into the crook of his pale arm. Observe? What the hell? This is fake. It has to be. Naruto thought in frustration. No way Lazy Bones is higher than me. INT had to mean intelligence, if Shikamaru was so high in it. Naruto noticed how Shikamaru's chakra was also much lower than his own with satisfaction. Was that because of? Who cares, honestly? So what if he had a demon in his belly? What's the chance of it suddenly escaping? Naruto realized he didn't actually have an answer for that. So he checked Sakura next. Naruto winced at what he saw. He wasn't sure whether to celebrate or cry that he was higher than Sakura's level. But he wasn't surprised by the pink-haired girl's stats. Her fights and sparring sessions would usually end up with cat scrambles, any sense of the taijutsu they learned completely absent. Not that Naruto could be talking, he rarely used actual taijutsu in his fights either. Of course, he checked Sasuke's next. Now, Naruto wasn't dumb. He knew that Sasuke was stronger than him currently. He wouldn't be disappointed no matter how severe the difference. He angled a glare at the brooding boy. What? How? When? Naruto yelled in his mind. Sasuke was an entire 8 levels higher than him. 8. Naruto wasn't sure how to catch up. He wasn't even sure how to level up. Ding! Players can level up by gaining experience points from completing quests, or increasing levels of skills. Great! Naruto drawled. I will be announcing the teams now. Naruto's eyes widened as he immediately went into a mode of rapt attention. Even Shikamaru, for once, came out of his slumber. Most of the students had similar expressions, for valid reasons. The team you were assigned into literally had the potential to decide your future for the next few years. Most people hoped they got into teams with their friends, or people they knew were strong in some way. But Naruto just wanted to be in a team with Sakura. Ding! The player is very fortunate that intelligence levels do not decrease. Naruto's eyes twitched. He was tunnel visioned that he didn't listen to any name that wasn't his own, completely ignoring the cries and shouts of his other classmates, as the teams were announced one by one. Team 7 will include Naruto Uzumaki. Now! Sakura Haruno. Yada! Naruto shouted with joy. No way his luck came through for him in such a crucial moment. For someone with luck points of a mere 1, Naruto was thoroughly impressed with himself. And Sasuke Uchiha. Shinaro. Oh no. My first impression of you is, you all are annoying. Naruto's sweat dropped. This guy was their Jonin sensei? Truth be told, even he didn't expect his prank to work on the man. Tall, silver-haired, and face mask on, their sensei looked quite exotic, and if it weren't for the Jonin vest he carried, Naruto wouldn't be surprised if Kakashi wasn't even from their village. He could tell that Sasuke was judging their sensei with detailed scrutiny as well, if the boy's narrowed eyes were any sign. Sakura just looked pissed. But he knew a quick way to check whether their sensei was capable or not. Observe. Observing. Naruto smirked. Time to see whether this old man is the real deal or not. Observation failed. Target's level is too high. Naruto gaped in shock. This means our sensei is seriously strong. It seemed there were some limits to the blue box thing. The blonde looked up to their sensei in a new light. Would player like a partial observation? Damn it! Naruto mumbled to himself, drawing a strange look from Sasuke. Copy ninja? What does that mean? Well, Kakashi sighed. Let's start with introductions. Like what? Sakura asked. Likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, and more. Then why don't you start first? You're our sensei, after all, Naruto asked in wonder. For once, I agree with Naruto, Sakura grumbled. Kakashi put a hand on his chin. Naruto felt his hands start to twitch in annoyance. He had a feeling that their sensei would do this a lot. And the blonde was definitely not patient in any way, shape, or form. Alright. I'm Kakashi Hatake. I have no desire to tell you kids about my likes and dislikes. Dreams? I mean, I have a lot of hobbies, I guess? Naruto waited for him to continue. And waited. That's it. Naruto blurted out. Sakura looked peeved. He just said his name. Kakashi sighed again. Well, that's over. Your turn. Never slow to respond, Naruto went next. I'll do it. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are cup ramen. But the ramen Irika sensei gets me at Ichiraku's is even better. Dislikes. Waiting for the instant ramen to cook is definitely annoying. If only I could decrease the time to 1 minute instead. My dream is simple. One day, I'm gonna surpass the old man as Hokage and make everyone in the lead acknowledge me with respect. Databeo. Hobbies. Pranking is pretty fun. Skill. Public speaking has increased by a level. Public speaking is now LVL2, Kakashi nodded. Cool. Next? So Sasuke went on a tangent about how he wanted to kill a certain someone. Definitely trying to act cool. Naruto thought, seeing through the whole facade. I'm definitely not scared that he might be talking about me. Best to keep some distance for a while just in case, though. Sakura went next. Typical fangirl stuff. I thought you were on my side, Sakura. The blonde whined in his head. Maybe. My efforts are hopeless. Ding! Intelligence has increased by 1 level. Naruto tried not to cry on the spot. Kakashi giggled randomly. What? Sakura asked. Well, to be honest, I've been keeping a secret from you guys. And trust me, you won't like it. Secret? Do you really think you can become a genin from doing 3-week jutsus? There's another exam. Or training, rather. Out of the 27 graduates, only 9 become genin. The rest. Back to the academy. Tell me, Sakura, what is the failure rate for this exam? The girl in question gulped. 66%. That's not fair at all. You know how much I work to master those jutsus? Naruto bellowed. Kakashi had an air of indifference. Then maybe you're not ready to become a ninja yet. Naruto's gaze hardened. Well, whatever. I'll beat whatever training you put up, sensei. It wouldn't bode well to call me sensei, since you most likely will be going back to the academy soon. Well, that's the reason I called you sensei to begin with. You better get used to my voice, sensei, 'cause you're gonna hear it a lot more soon, Databeo. Naruto boomed, his voice dripping with confidence. Ah. Okay. Well, either way, tomorrow we will be having survival training on the field. Bring all of your tools. And make sure to skip breakfast, I don't want you to throw up on the freshly cut grass. Take these handouts, the details are printed. Naruto quickly took the handout, memorizing all the details in a hurry. CYA. And with a final peace sign, their sensei disappeared in a swirl of leaves. I need to learn that jutsu. The blonde's mind was set on a new goal. He needed to pass whatever training Kakashi set on them. No matter what it takes. Even if he had to forfeit all of his ramen packs. Kami forbid it comes to that. What's so tough about the training anyways? Naruto was hyped to show his new jutsu to everyone, maybe even knock Kakashi-sensei down a peg or two. Naruto looked at the other two, wondering what they thought of everything. Are you guys going to train or something? Naruto asked. Sakura had already left. Sasuke still sat, hands crossed in a brooding state, staring into the handout in his hands. Naruto shrugged, he needed to train as well, might as well go home and do some exercises. Push-ups? Sit-ups? Maybe I'll fight with some dummies. Ding! New quest. Learning the Uchiha created. Quest details. Challenge Sasuke to a spar. Quest rewards. EXP 400. Learn the Uchiha Taijutsu style, and increase Taijutsu level by 2. Failure. Dream of becoming a ninja crushed mercilessly. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. Spar? Now? Naruto thought incredulously. He looked at the failure tab. Yeah, there was no escaping this. It was almost like the system was forcing him to fight Sasuke right now. Besides, he got some rewards in the meanwhile. 400 experience sounded good to him, especially considering the fact that his previous quest never came to fruition because of Kakashi's intended training. He might as well accept. Hey Sasuke, Naruto greeted, trying to act as friendly as possible. The smile on his face was almost painful as he stretched it to the utmost limit. HN. Naruto resisted the urge to punch the other boy in the nose. Since we have a training session tomorrow. How about we spar? We can practice for a bit. Sasuke didn't look up from the printout. No thanks. I'm not going to get any training from the dead last. I need to persuade him, even if it requires a lot of goading on my part. Dead last? Not anymore. I learned a new jutsu, believe it. Please get interested. Sasuke looked up at last. And that is? Naruto grinned. He put two fingers together in a cross sign. Shadow Clone Jutsu. In a succession of poofs and smoke, two shadow clones appeared next to Naruto, each of them holding up a thumbs-up sign. Sasuke snorted. Humph. Some clones, so? Naruto's eyes glimmered. He'd expected that reaction. In an instant, he threw a punch at his clone. The clone caught it in the bare of his palm a second later. Sasuke's eyes widened in surprise. Fine, I'll guess you and your clones could be good target practice. Where should we spar, Dobe? The blonde just wanted to get this over with and gain the points, and didn't want to extend the spar for too long. Right here, right now. Sasuke immediately switched to his basic taijutsu stance. HN. No matter how many jutsus you learn, I'll always beat you, Naruto. The result is inevitable. Maybe you can beat me for now, I'll admit it. But can you beat 5 of me together? Naruto grinned smugly as he placed his fingers on top of each other. Shadow Clone Jutsu. 2 more Narutos appeared beside the already present 3. The roof they were fighting on was pretty small, so Naruto couldn't really go all out like he did against Mizuki. It wouldn't be appropriate to do so for a spar anyways. Naruto rushed forward along with his clones for the first punch. The raven-haired boy quickly parried it with the side of forearm, before delivering a shot right to Naruto's stomach. The blonde took the blow head-on. While Sasuke was fast, he wasn't the strongest. In fact, Naruto felt like he and Sasuke were on even terms in terms of strength alone. Scanning. Before his opponent delivered another knee to the crook of his chin, his clones instantly jumped onto the boy. One grabbed his leg, and the others grabbed Sasuke's upper body. Sasuke immediately crouched, before delivering a sweeping kick to all of the clones behind him. He flipped into the air, at the same time dodging a hook from the real Naruto, which ended up landing on one of his own clones. Poof. 4 left. With the space he now had, Sasuke immediately went into a series of hand signs. Naruto's eyes widened. A jutsu? Get him. You got it, boss. The 4 dashed to their opponent, issuing a devastating kick to the boy's jaw. But it never landed. The Uchiha became a fountain of smoke instead. You think you're the only one who could make a clone? Solid or not, It serves the same purpose. Behind us. A kick dug itself into Naruto's gut as the blonde grunted in pain shortly after. Sasuke glared. There's more to a spar than just straight-out brawling, Naruto. Duck. Dodge. Weave. Punch. Poof. 3 left. Taijutsu is the basis of fighting for all shinobi, and if you don't even know that, you don't need a spot on my team, Sasuke stated, as if it were fact. Another clone barged towards the Uchiha, not at all heeding the words that were spoken. Sasuke spun. A foot flew through the air and viciously tagged the clone in the cheek, destroying the clone entirely. Only a single clone left. Scanning complete. Does player wish to learn Uchiha clan taijutsu? Yes/no. Yes, do something stupid system. Naruto groaned, holding his stomach in pain. New skill achieved, Uchiha clan taijutsu LVL1. Instantly, a wave of knowledge entered him. No, a tsunami. Fighting stances he never learned, experience he never gained, and technique he never worked for. Punches, kicks, spins, flips, dodges. Naruto relived everything in a span of a second. And he didn't feel remorse for a second. He felt a sudden urge to laugh, but fought it down. The blonde, who was always smiling and laughing, just felt the sheer addictiveness of having power in one's fingertips. It was so easy, so unfair. His last clone died out. Naruto fell into a stance, one that the Uchiha was very familiar with. Sasuke's eyes widened, before narrowing once more. Copying your opponents, I thought you had more shame than that, dope. Doesn't matter, like I said, the result is inevitable. They rushed forward again, but something in the air was different. Naruto was moving completely differently, the bulky, rigid movement seen before not visible once in the current bout. Sasuke didn't notice. The second he threw a jab at the blonde, Naruto countered. Naruto spun in the air, landing a reverse roundhouse on the unsuspecting opponent. Sasuke grunted as he was knocked back a few feet. Naruto stood, shocked. He just landed a clean hit on Sasuke. Growling, Sasuke Uchiha went on the offensive. He leaped into the air, aiming all of his momentum onto Naruto's head with his legs. Sasuke realized how blue Naruto's eyes were for the first time. Naruto had jumped at the same time. Staring back into the eyes of his rival, Naruto threw an elbow straight into his back, sending the Uchiha to the ground. Without even looking at his face, Naruto could tell Sasuke was mad. No, furious. In an instant, Naruto was on the back foot once again. While he learned Sasuke's taijutsu, it was only a beginner version of it. A mere imitation, not the actual thing. He had a tiny shred of muscle memory embedded into him, but it wasn't the same as the blood, sweat, and tears Sasuke had put into making his own style. He lacked the same finesse and agility Sasuke utilized while fighting, due to his unfamiliarity with the style in general. The duel continued, and Naruto began to realize he was going to lose. It was almost like Sasuke was predicting his movements. That's when it hit him. Sasuke was able to predict his movements because it was his own style. He needed to revert back. Putting his hands into the correct position, he bellowed out, "Shadow Clone Jut." Sasuke ripped into his hands and pulled them apart, before immediately kneeing him immediately after. Naruto lost. I don't know what you did to copy me, and I'll admit, it intrigued me a little. But like I said multiple times, the result is inevitable. This spar is over, Sasuke said arrogantly, putting his hands in his pockets, and began walking towards the exit. Naruto laid on his back, panting heavily as the exhaustion crept to him. But he wouldn't let the jerk get the last word. You won this time, Sasuke. The result may have been inevitable. And you might have beaten me without using any jutsu. But I saw you clutching your army managed to hurt you. That's a victory for now, Dadabayo. Naruto shouted, hand to air. He didn't hear any response, but he knew the Uchiha was listening. He noted his level with dismay. There was still a long way to go before he came to Sasuke's level, but he was getting there, at least. The number of attribute points he had was disappointing too, especially since he finally learned what they were after asking the system. The points could increase once of his stats immediately, no hard work needed. Yes, please. But he wasn't exactly sure what to put it on. Considering he had an extremely important task in a few hours, he needed to do something quick. And when in doubt, go with your gut instinct. Was it really a surprise that the Jinchuriki would put his only attribute point on strength? Hey, blue box. Put the point into strength. Naruto thought. Ding! Attribute point has been used. Strength has been increased by 1 point. Naruto grinned widely. Time to knock Kakashi down the humongous peg he was on. Naruto flexed his muscles, trying to see whether the strength attribute really did anything. For one, he couldn't feel anything at all, but did people really feel their muscles growing as they got stronger? Could he really trust the system to power up his strength instantly? Sakura scoffed as she looked away. Not again, Naruto. For once, the knucklehead ninja stayed silent. The pink-haired girl raised an eyebrow in surprise, before looking ahead again. If Sasuke noticed the change in Naruto's behavior, he didn't mention it. Some would say that Naruto had matured, and had seen the difference between him and Sasuke's level, thus making him determined to improve and prove himself in the test Kakashi would oppose them. But the real reason Naruto was confusedly quiet was because of the Uchiha stats. This bastard leveled up as well? Naruto thought, gritting his teeth in frustration. What would it do to catch up for once? Was it really impossible to beat a prodigy like Sasuke? Were they really on two different levels? Naruto brushed those thoughts aside. No, he will catch up to his rival, no matter what it takes. And that started with beating Kakashi's training, and becoming a genin for real. Good morning, Kakashi said, a peace sign in the air. You're late. Sakura yelled with an accusing finger at their aloof sensei. Gentle breezes of wind passed through the training sector, bringing along with it a cozy smell of pine. And the familiar sound of bells? You'll have until noon to take these bells from me, which is why the clock is set up right here. Whichever of you are unable to get a bell will get no lunch either. Should have eaten breakfast, huh? Sakura's face twisted into newly found vengeance as she glared at Kakashi, hand on her stomach. Even Sasuke looked annoyed. Naruto just blinked. Since there's only 2 bells, one of you definitely will be tied to a tree stump here. Predictably, of course, the person without a bell fails immediately back to academy lessons with your previous teachers. Fortunately, you are allowed to use your shuriken and other tools. I want you guys to come at me with the intention of killing. Ding! New quest. Jingle bells created. Quest details. Manage to touch one of Kakashi's bells. Quest rewards. EXP 600 Kakashi's respect, Sasuke's respect. Failure. Stay as a weakling for the rest of your life. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. That's an easy choice. Yes. Touch one of his bells? Naruto didn't care how high of a level Kakashi was, he wasn't just going to touch them, he was going to take one for himself. Isn't that dangerous for you? Sakura asked, voice laced with worry. Don't worry, Sakura, I'll go easy on sensei, Naruto said, grinning. Naruto. Kakashi remained impassive. It's often said that the weakest dog tends to bark the loudest. Mr. Deadlast here is testament to that. You guys can start when. Naruto lunged at Kakashi with his kunai at point-blank range, eager to cut up their sensei for the bells. I haven't said start yet. Naruto's eyes widened as he realized there was no one in front of him. Too fast. However, I like the eagerness in you trying to kill me. We'll be starting now. Ready? Start. The blonde dashed a bit away, but not as much as Sakura and Sasuke, who ended up hiding in the trees. I need to get the bells and the EXP while I'm still at max capacity. No time like the present. I'm right here, sensei. Fight me if you can. Naruto shouted, hands crossed in his arms. Kakashi sighed. You're not like the other two, are you? That's damn right. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the future Hokage. Naruto stopped talking before he blitzed towards the silver-haired Jonin, but immediately took a step back when he saw the man draw into his pockets. All right, Mr. Hokage. I know I'm not your sensei yet, but I'll give you some lessons for free. Ninja Fighting Lesson 1 Taijutsu. Kunai? Shuriken? Katana? A book? Naruto struggled to get out, eyebrows raised to their limit. No, there has to be more, right? Maybe it's a book with a bunch of secret jutsus. Yeah, that's it. Observe. Observing. Observation successful. Item name, Ichi Ichi Paradise, Volume 1. Item details, written by one of the legendary Sannin, the gallant Jiraiya. The Ichi Ichi Paradise series is a best-selling franchise known for its perverse and entertaining storytelling. Naruto felt his anger bloom instantly. You pervert. Put that down, you're fighting me. Ah. You recognize this book? Interesting. Nonetheless, it will make no difference if I fight you reading or not. Naruto pushed off his feet, lunging towards Kakashi with a kick. The man lazily lifted up one hand, catching his foot with a thud before ducking over the other kick Naruto sent his way, and at the same time flipping a page of his book. Is this the difference between me and a Jonin? Naruto thought incredulously. He needed Sasuke's taijutsu again. Activating. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu LVL1 activated. Usage drains 20 MP points each minute. He aimed another punch at Kakashi, only to realize he was missing. A ninja should never be caught from the back, idiot, Kakashi monotoned. Naruto, move! He's going to kill you! Sakura yelled from somewhere among the trees. Naruto didn't need to hear it twice. The moment he heard Kakashi's voice, he already started moving. Kakashi's fingers touched the empty, cold air. The blonde had somersaulted right into a position behind Kakashi. Taijutsu? Do you really want taijutsu? Here we go then, sensei! Naruto yelled, getting into a stance. Kakashi looked peeved that his attack missed. Ah man. I seriously wanted to get you with that, brat. Wow, cool pose. I feel like I recognize that from somewhere. The only thing you should recognize is my fist, Naruto said, running towards the man. That was very corny. Naruto gave a leading punch to Kakashi's stomach. The Jonin, as always, caught it with his left hand, but was surprised when Naruto immediately issued a reverse roundhouse right after. To Sakura, it seemed as if Naruto got faster, but that was about it. To Sasuke and Kakashi, they both knew that something had changed in Naruto's style completely. His movements were quicker, more fluid, and focused on the brute strength of each attack. In fact, it surprised Sasuke even more than Kakashi. When Naruto first copied his style yesterday itself, he was inexperienced, and he didn't think too much of it. But then came the scary part. Naruto was improving. With every strike, punch, and kick, he was becoming more and more like the real thing. Maybe Sasuke should. The roundhouse managed to hit Kakashi's shoulder, who grabbed onto his leg in response. Not wanting to get grappled to the ground, Naruto pushed off the Jonin's shoulder before his grasp could reach his ankles and hung in the air, making a hand sign. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Kakashi threw shuriken at the exact same time. Smoke surrounded him, covering Kakashi's side of Naruto. More clones appeared next to him, already knowing what to do. Grabbing both his legs, they pushed him directly towards Kakashi like a missile. Ding! New skill achieved, Battle Strategics LVL1. The bells are mine, sensei. Naruto's initial idea was to dive for the bells and pray to Kami he would catch Kakashi by surprise, but his body told him something different. He feinted a hammer fist straight to the man's head, before ducking to his legs, and at the same time swiping his hand towards the bells. A brief jingle was heard. Ding! Quest, Jingle Bells completed. Rewards, EXP 600 Kakashi's respect, Sasuke's respect. Dexterity has increased by a level. Skill, Taijutsu has increased by a level. Taijutsu is now LVL4. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu is now LVL2. Naruto rolled forward as Kakashi moved at the last second, completely negating his final drive to get the bells. Your file didn't mention any studies of Taijutsu, yet it's obvious you have some practice in it. I wonder where you learned it from. Well, I guess I can't go easy on you either, can I? Kakashi asked, before running towards the blonde with moderate speed. Naruto panted as he brought himself back to position. He needed to get the bells no matter what. Fire release, Fireball Jutsu. A torrent of hot, viscous fire erupted into the field before him, covering Naruto's entire vision with ruby reds, oranges, and yellow. His skin flared threateningly, the temperatures reaching dangerously high levels even though it wasn't too near him. The supply of fire eventually died out, leaving the scorched grass underneath it to mourn. Kakashi was nowhere to be seen. Naruto, Sasuke said, appearing beside the blonde. What was that? Naruto asked, awed by the jutsu used by the Uchiha. The raven-head boy stared blankly ahead. Just a jutsu. Why did Sasuke come? This Jonin, he's too strong to beat right now. While it sounds pitiful to team up with the dead last, we need to if we want to win, Sasuke said, eyes lighting up in frustration. What about Sakura? Naruto questioned. She's going to slow us down. It's best we don't. Sakura. We're right here. Come quickly. Let's team up to beat Kakashi-sensei. Naruto yelled, putting his hands around his mouth. Sasuke shook his head. Is this really the guy who I saw fighting just now? He thought with a grimace. You realize there's only 2 bells? Sasuke challenged. Yeah, but I want her to also have an equal chance to get the bell while we can. Naruto squinted his eyes, looking in every direction possible. Where is Kakashi? All he saw was the green expanse of grass which faded away into the forest of trees around them. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Naruto said, summoning a dozen clones around him. 6 of you stay put. The others go scout for Sakura and bring her here. You got it. What happens if she doesn't want to come? One of his clones asked while saluting. Naruto scratched his hair. Oh. Just say Sasuke is here as well. His clones dispersed after that. Sasuke felt his eye twitching, but ignored the sensation to focus on the situation at hand. His eyes widened as he heard the faintest of trembles underneath him. Jump! Sasuke yelled. Naruto did exactly that, dodging a hand that came out of the ground. Kakashi was here. The number one of the village, Uchiha. You might be interesting. Sasuke stared back, taking 2 steps to the front, staying silent. I might not be able to read while facing you two, a shame, I was just getting to the good part. Ninja Fighting Lesson 3 Ninjutsu. Kakashi began weaving through a sequence of jutsus, his hands becoming a blur. Let's go, Sasuke. Naruto realized for the first time how fast the Uchiha was. He was running at his maximum speed, but Sasuke was already a few steps ahead of him. Water release, water bullet jutsu. Cohesive balls of water collected together, and threw themselves at Sasuke and Naruto, forcing the two to split apart to avoid the attacks. Okay, he dodged the attack. Now, Naruto wasn't sure what to do next. The academy never taught them to fight against ninjas of this caliber, let alone jutsus other than the basic clone. But maybe that was all he needed. Sasuke! Naruto! A voice yelled from behind them. His clones disappeared with a poof, and the whole interaction with Sakura suddenly filled his head. How did that happen? Shaking his head, Naruto slowed down a bit so the girl could catch up. Sakura came to him, panting and hands on her knees. Are you and Sasuke teaming up? Ding! New quest, Prodigy created. Quest details, steal one of Kakashi's bells. Quest rewards, EXP 1500. New skill, title, Prodigy of Konoha. Failure, not applicable. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no, hell yeah. Naruto thought with a grin. He had no idea what the title even meant, but Prodigy of Konoha sounded awesome. And the 1500 EXP was the highest reward he ever saw from a quest yet. Completing this quest would probably make him level up one more time, which also meant another attribute point. This was all without mentioning the random skill he would receive. And to steal one of Kakashi's bells, he needed all the help he could get. Yeah, for now. We probably are gonna need to work together if we want to beat Kakashi. Who cares about failing right now? Naruto said, trying to inspire confidence in Sakura. I guess. But if we fail, we're going back to the academy. Sakura shuddered. Like I said, let's worry about that later, Databeo. Ding! New skill achieved, Persuasion LVL1. Naruto looked ahead, where Sasuke was engaging with the Jonin already. Crap, I need to go. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto repeated. 8 or so clones appeared next to him, looking at their boss for orders. Sakura, listen. I'm going to have these clones henge as you, and enter the fight. You have to sneak in with them, and once the chance comes, just take the bells, Naruto urged with a yanking motion of his hands. Battle Strategics increased by a level. Battle Strategics is now LVL2. Sakura nodded before her eyes widened as Naruto's clones became identical copies of her with one hand sign. Naruto could feel the physical strain the technique had on his chakra levels. To keep the henge active for a long time, you had to maintain a physical transformation by supplying a continuous stream of chakra, something which was hard enough by itself. And now Naruto had to do with 8 clones, all at the same time. For a regular genin, or even a regular jonin, this would be outright impossible to think about, and would immediately lead to chakra exhaustion, but Naruto was different. Follow me, Naruto issued. Both of Kakashi's eyebrows raised as he saw multiple Sakuras led by one Naruto running towards him, before he blocked another punch by Sasuke. Naruto made his way into the fight. Uzumaki Naruto is here! The Sakura army cried out at once, mimicking his actions. Naruto couldn't even tell that one of them was Sakura. Sasuke leaped back as he missed another kick to Kakashi, who honestly looked irritated at this point. His hands began moving in a quick succession. You kids are seriously starting to get annoying. Water release, Water Dragon Jutsu. A beast of water arose from the river behind Kakashi, shaping and transforming into a colossal dragon that glared at them angrily, the water body missing the serenity and calmness of an ocean entirely, instead similar to the rapid, relentless aggression of a speedy river. The clones doubled back before they started running back in a vain attempt to escape, but the beast hunted its prey with precision, the power of the sheer amount of water immediately destroying the clones on contact. Naruto could only gape as his plans turned immediately into shackles. But not yet. Not all of it was ruined. To think I had to use that jutsu on clones. Shut up! Naruto shouted boldly, lunging for a kick at Kakashi. The kick missed due to Kakashi quickly tilting to the side, but Naruto didn't stop there. He bent his torso downwards so that his hand could reach the ground, before pushing outwards so he could get the necessary acceleration to catch Kakashi's body in a deadlock with his open legs. MP has been drained. Uchiha-style Taijutsu LVL2 disabled. Doesn't matter, I don't need it right now either way. His legs clamped around Kakashi like a scissor on a piece of metal, trying its best to cut it open. Sasuke came in at the right moment, sweeping Kakashi's leg with a kick of his own. Naruto felt himself tumble to the grassy floor with Kakashi, who struggled to get out of the lock with Sasuke on his legs and Naruto on his arms. Sakura, now! Naruto screamed, the strain on his legs becoming unbearable. Sakura appeared out of nowhere, presumably, and slid past Kakashi's body with her hand outwards, grasping the bells along the way. Shanaru! They did it! They beat a Jonin. An actual Jonin! Naruto laughed in joy as he let go of his hold on Kakashi, scrambling to his legs. The adrenaline that filled his blood didn't leave, pushing his excitement to even higher levels. Did his plan actually work? I told you, Kakashi, I told you! I guess you're our sensei now after all, haha. Kakashi patted his shoulders, swiping away a strand of grass that stuck to his uniform. Congratulations, I didn't expect that, to be honest. Now, who will Sakura give the other bell to? Naruto's smile dissipated. It finally registered that the notification for completing his quest never popped up. Kakashi continued mercilessly. As I said, only 2 of you pass. Regardless of whether all 3 of you manage to work together or not. Sakura? What's your decision? Sakura's face looked extremely uncomfortable as she took a look at the bells in her hand. Her gaze softened when she saw Sasuke, who didn't even spare her a glance, preferring to look at the grass below him. Her face became even more worried as she looked at Naruto, who seemed just as equally uncomfortable. 2 can't make the decision, Kakashi-sensei, she said at last. Why not? Kakashi inquired. It's wrong. In this type of field, we have to make decisions such as these to survive, Sakura. Did your academy not teach things like this? Facts? Sacrifices will be made in the middle of missions which were supposed to go on perfectly. And lives are sometimes the cost that makes sure a mission succeeds. Kakashi's eyes hardened. We aren't the keepers of peace or any childish notion you may have assumed during academy. We're shinobi. Kakashi pointed to somewhere off in the distance. Over there, there's a stone. Countless names of shinobi who were considered heroes of the village are carved on it, so it's not a normal stone by any means. My best friend's name is on it as well. This. Where is this going? Naruto thought sadly. My best friend. He sacrificed himself so that I could live. Do you really think you would be able to make such decisions on the battlefield? With that said, you guys shouldn't just give up on this training session, you should quit thinking of becoming a shinobi entirely. What? Naruto roared in outrage. What did they even do to deserve such a thing? Poof. Sakura yelped as the bells in her hand disappeared into a cloud of smoke. Kakashi was nowhere to be seen either. Did we just get played? That was probably why the quest notification never came up. Naruto realized. Where the hell did the old man? Boo! Naruto screamed as Kakashi's face poked out from underneath his legs. You're not the only one who can use shadow clones, Naruto. Kakashi quickly revealed himself entirely from the earth. You guys. Pass. What the? Naruto wasn't sure whether he should be happy or just relieved at this point. Sakura seemed to think the same, her expression still looking scarred with the whole talk from Kakashi earlier. Truth be told. Kakashi started, before chuckling immediately after. What? Sakura asked feebly. Truth be told. You guys passed the moment Naruto appeared with his Sakura clones. A shinobi must see underneath the underneath. The whole point of this test was to test your teamwork, not whether you got the bells or not, which you obviously didn't. I think this is the fastest any team has passed the bell test, so congratulations. Kakashi said, eyes narrowed into a smile. Naruto raised his hand. So everything you said before is the complete truth. We shinobi are tools for our village to use freely. However, Sakura's decision, or lack thereof, isn't to be condemned. In the shinobi world, those who break the rules are scum, that's true. But those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. The silence after his words hung in the almost tangible tension in the air. Damn, he's seriously cool. Naruto thought, awe filling his eyes. I'm gonna be like that someday, though. Kakashi raised a thumbs up to the air. Nice. Starting from tomorrow, Team 7 will debut as an official shinobi team. Ding! Quest, Prodigy failed. Quest, First step to greatness completed. Rewards, EXP 1000, become a true ninja. Naruto could only grin as he was flooded with notifications. I guess I didn't level up? Congratulations. You leveled up. Player is now LV6. Never mind. 1 attribute point gained. New title, Genin of Konoha achieved. Title, Genin of Konoha increases all stats by 5% while doing missions assigned by Konoha. Naruto had a lot more learning to do all over again. And then I dashed towards Kakashi, and trapped him between my legs, then boom! Sasuke comes and sweeps him to the floor, and Sakura comes in the end to take the bells in one sweep. Naruto finished telling his tale to the other genin around him. Everyone looked to Sakura, who shyly nodded in confirmation. Ah man. You guys seem to have a cool test. All we did was fight for a bit, and Asuma-sensei made us pass, Choji said, chowing down on the barbecue, or what was remaining of it. Shikamaru sighed. Yeah, it was troublesome. It's not like you did much anyways, Ino quipped back. Where's Sasuke? Kiba asked pointedly. Naruto shrugged. He said he couldn't come. He had tried persuading the Uchiha, but his persuasion level was only at a mere level 1 for now. To celebrate all of the genin passing, Kiba had announced a party at his family-owned restaurant, Inazuka Grill. Naruto was just glad he didn't need to pay. His wallet was already suffering from the ramen he bought without Irika to pay for him. Well, if Sasuke isn't here, I'm calling total BS on that whole scene you narrated, Naruto, Kiba said, crossing his arms. Akamaru barked in agreement before returning to the ois of meat below him. What? You have to believe me, man. I was so cool. Shino, you believe me, right? Shino stayed quiet as always, before he shrugged his shoulders. To believe you, Naruto, Hinata said, her voice as timid as ever. Thank you, Hinata. Finally, someone with a brain in your team. Hinata blushed before going back to her food. The rest of the party went along swiftly, everyone enjoying the food and the company as well. With missions and the whole workload that came with being a shinobi, they probably won't see each other out once again for a long time. Just as all the teams started to leave, with Kiba staying, of course, Naruto called for a specific someone. Shikamaru! The spiky-haired boy looked back, before telling his teammates goodbye. Naruto led him to a place a bit far away from the restaurant, but not anymore to look suspicious. What? Shikamaru asked, putting his hands into his pockets. Okay, now that that's done. How do I break this to him? Fine, listen here. There's this scenario. Okay, this isn't working. How do I explain this? Shikamaru yawned. Look, Naruto. I'm super tired already, make it quick, man. Let's first assume you can categorize a person's characteristics? Yeah, characteristics, into numbers. So, like strength into a 4 or 6, speed into 8 or 9, and more. Shikamaru's eyes lightened a bit. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I can infer a bit. What are the types of characteristics? It's related to battle, mostly. There's strength, vitality, intelligence, wisdom, and luck, and I think speed. Interesting. What is this all for? Naruto expected this question to come. It's for a game I'm trying to make. A game? Yeah. Shikamaru looked at him incredulously. Alright. So where do you think I would scale on intelligence in your game? Naruto noted with glee that Shikamaru was level 6 just like him. You would be around 13, I guess, Naruto stated. Shikamaru raised an eyebrow. And you? 5. Naruto whispered with shame. Modest. I'm also surprised you're so certain about the numbers. I've thought of it before. I definitely don't have anything telling me all of this. So the game is some kind of role-playing thing? I've seen something like it before, I think. But regardless, why did you call me here? It certainly wasn't to boost my ego. The blonde nodded. Alright. So the player gets a card which allows them to automatically increase one of their stats by 1 point from time to time. Which stat would you increase? Stat as in one of the characteristics? Okay. I would increase my intelligence. Damn. I should have done that instead of putting the other one in strength. But at least I know what to do with this attribute point. Shikamaru hummed thoughtfully. But if the character is a shinobi, it would certainly be better to have a balanced approach, no? Naruto looked up hopefully. Since the card comes from time to time as you put it, it would be more useful to branch the card out to all characteristics, rather than hyper-focusing on one. How so? Naruto asked, genuinely curious. Think about it, we're shinobi. We get stuck in all types of positions in any mission. Say we do increase our intelligence to a genius level, but will our strength be available to support us during a one-on-one fight? With too much strength, on the other hand, how do we make plans to use that ability? We require intelligence. Theoretically, the best shinobi would have the highest and the most balanced stats, as you say. So it would be better to increase the stats you're low in at the start, and work from there. This guy is seriously smart, Naruto thought, impressed by his thought process. Thanks, Shikamaru, you seriously helped me out, Naruto said, grinning. Shikamaru shrugged. No problem, but you owe me now. Damn right. Naruto waited until he was sure no one was around him before he opened his status window. Shikamaru said to balance it out, my vitality is high already. My luck is really low, but increasing that is just boring. Wisdom. I'm already wise enough, right? Best to go with. Intelligence. Attribute point has been used. Intelligence has been increased by 1 point. This is so amazing. Naruto whispered between chuckles, a sudden urge to laugh in celebration overcoming him. He pointed at the stone monument overlooking the entire village. Their carved faces made to inspire and fuel the will of fire among the citizens of Konoha during the darkest of times. Forget surpassing the old man. I'm gonna surpass all of you. The first, the second, the third, and the fourth. Naruto Uzumaki, the fifth Hokage, believe it! New skill achieved, Will of Fire LVL1. Do you have eyes on the target? Kakashi asked. Yes, it's 3 meters away, Naruto responded on his walkie-talkie. Don't mess up, Naruto, Sakura said from elsewhere. Alright, I'll count you down. Don't make a single speck of noise. 3, 2, 1. Go! Naruto leaped out of his hiding spot to trap the target, his shadow clones doing the exact same. YHHHHH, Naruto yelled as he jumped onto the target with all of his might, covering its furry body with the combined weight of both his clones. The cat shrieked and clawed him as Naruto grabbed its arms and legs and held it towards its chest. Is it Tora? Sasuke asked, coming out of the tree behind him. Observe. Observing. Observation successful. Name, Tora. Title, The Lost Cat of Konoha. Level, LV3. Naruto leaned the cat to the right, pretending he didn't know it was Tora already. Ribbon on the left ear, yep, it's him. Ding! Quest, Finding Tora completed. Rewards, EXP 50. An entire week of doing drank missions was painful to the mind and the body. Naruto hadn't leveled up once, and his taijutsu never increased any levels. So far, training with Kakashi was more like doing chores than actual training. The skill scouting was now level 5, even though it didn't really matter much. Funnily enough, that was the highest level in any skill he had so far. But considering that all he did for the past week was scout for lost items and other random activities, it kind of made sense. Team 7 went to the Hokage's office to drop off the cat right after. Madame Shirjimi, the wife of the fire daimyo, profusely thanked them before enveloping her cat in a bone-crushing hug. Naruto felt slightly bad, but also knew that the cat deserved it for the torture it put them through. Hiruzen let out a puff of smoke before reading out their next mission. Team 7's next duties are babysitting an elder's grandson, shopping in the neighborhood village, and helping dig some potatoes in the local farm. Naruto was quick to retaliate, tired of all the random chores being given to them. Hell no, old man. Missions are supposed to be cool, not babysitting your grandson. Sasuke raised an eyebrow with how Naruto talked back to the Hokage himself. I never said it was. Please give us a better one. Naruto exclaimed loudly, his eyes hopeful. Not only were the missions they were currently doing boring, he needed some quests that give more experience, so he could level up. He could tell Sakura and Sasuke agreed with him. Naruto, you're only a rookie genin. You're not the only one doing this work, even the Hokage himself started from these duties, Iruka barked at him from the desk. It doesn't matter. Please just give us some better missions. Naruto. As genin, drank missions are all you really get. But alright, I'll make an exception. Naruto looked up in surprise. Skill, Persuasion increased by a level. Persuasion is now LVL2. I can manage to give you a crank. An escort and protection mission of a certain someone. Alright, that sounds more fun already. Hiruzen tapped once on his desk. Come inside. And came out the door was a tall man with a black, sleeveless shirt wrapped with a towel, and loose scad pants below it. He had a bottle of alcohol in his left hand, clearly sounding drunk already. With a small, gray goatee, and tiny glasses, he looked like one of the shady grandpas back in Konoha. Kids? Some brats are protecting me? Especially the short, blonde one. Are you really a genin? Shut up, drunkard. Naruto started, but wilted against Kakashi's glare. The man pushed his glasses up. I am an expert bridge builder by the name of Tazuna. I will require your protection until I get back to my country and finish up a bridge. Ding! New quest, Protection of Tazuna created. Quest details, keep Tazuna alive until the bridge is complete. Quest rewards, EXP 3000 class, title? Failure, death. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. 3000? Hell yeah. Naruto grinned. Don't worry, drunkard, the future Hokage is protecting you. Let's go! Naruto shouted out, hands to the air. They were officially out of Konoha, way past the large gates that guarded his village. Why are you so excited? Sakura asked. Naruto scratched the back of his head. I've never been outside of the village, so it's interesting. Title, Genin of Konoha is currently applicable for increased stats. Equip title, Genin of Konoha? Yes/no. Yes, please. Naruto thought to himself. 5% didn't sound like much but was useful nonetheless. Tazuna scoffed. Are you really a shinobi, kid? I'm starting to fear for my own safety. Humph, you're somewhat shady yourself, old man. If Naruto's observation skill was higher, he would have noticed the slight widening of Tazuna's eyes at his words, or the brief twitching of his long, calloused fingers. Kakashi did, however. Tazuna-san, you're from Wave Country? Sakura asked curiously. Tazuna looked at her appraisingly. Yes, I am. Sensei, there aren't any shinobi in Wave, is there? No, but that's better for us in the long run. There won't be any really dangerous shinobi coming after Tazuna, after all. This time Naruto did observe how Tazuna kept his head down. Suspicious. Ding! Skill, deduction increased by a level. Deduction is now LVL 3, but Naruto wasn't the type to think the worst of others. He let the moment of panic from Tazuna slip past him. But what was this other feeling? Ding! Warning, bloodlust detected. Chills spread through Naruto's arms as he paused mid-stroll. Sense, an enemy appeared out of nowhere, manifesting from the small puddle near Kakusha Sensei. Another cloaked, masked person jumped into the air, grabbing a thick, black rope along with him. The rope circles around each side of the Jonin before entrapping him entirely. One down, a deep, bored voice sounded out. With a twist and turn of the hands and waists, the spiky rope cut through Kakashi, leaving behind a small pool of blood and organs. All Naruto saw was red. That wasn't out of anger, no, it was just the blood that pooled along his feet, marking his sandals with the visceral color. Kakashi-sensei was dead. Naruto! Sakura screamed instantly. Naruto jumped to the sides as a pair of spiked ropes impaled into the empty space he was once in. His eyes widened with exhilaration, his muscles aching for some sort of release, but his mind, there was no doubt about it, was scared. Ding! New quest, encounter, Demon Brothers created. Quest details, defeat the Demon Brothers. Quest rewards, EXP 500 Kakashi's respect. Failure, die. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no, but when there was a goal, Naruto never gave up. Activating. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu LVL 1 activated. Usage drains 20 MP points each minute. I'll kill you all! Naruto roared in anger, both at himself for freezing up and the enemies for killing Kakashi-sensei. Naruto began running towards the enemy Nin with renewed vigor, and alongside him Sasuke began his attack. Sasuke threw both shuriken and kunai, embedding one end of the spiked ropes into the tree, rendering their ranged weapons entirely useless unless they wanted to retrieve them again. The taller enemy shinobi went for Sasuke, leaving the other one for him. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Clones of Naruto appeared beside him, running a few steps behind the original. The blonde spun his kunai that he took from his pocket, holding it in an ice-pick grip. He was in range. The second the masked man swiped his razor claws at Naruto, the blonde slid to the floor, past his legs, and at the same time swiped his kunai across his legs, drawing blood instantly. Arg! The clones jumped onto the man with battle cries of their own, but eventually became smoke after a few swipes of the man's claws. Naruto looked back to see the man's bruised face. Then he started his assault. Naruto cocked his head to one side to avoid a strike, before immediately responding with a hook to the man's stomach. Due to the height difference between the two, Naruto was forced to come close due to his short range. But the cloak covering the enemy's body made it ridiculously easy for Naruto to see through his attacks. Another strike, but this time, it managed to barely tear up the skin near his hand. Ding! Poison detected. Naruto didn't care. He continued his frenzy, dodging and countering each and every attack the man made, the close combat style surprisingly suited for fighting against the mysterious man, who seemed confused on what to do. The second he saw the start of hand signs, Naruto tore the hands apart with his own, before kicking the man down. Ding! Quest, Encounter, Demon Brothers completed. Rewards, EXP 500 Kakashi's respect. It was over. But Naruto didn't stop there. He continued to thrash the shinobi on the floor, not giving him a single chance to breathe. Enough, Naruto. But he killed Kaka. Naruto paused. Observe. Wait, you're alive? Naruto asked, staring into the eyes, one of Kakashi. You sound disappointed. But yes, I am alive. I simply used the substitution jutsu. Regardless, it seems like I wasn't needed at all. Nice job, Sasuke, Naruto. And good on you, Sakura, for prioritizing the client. Naruto looked at the groaning shinobi below him. Sasuke dragged another one closer, who looked similarly in pain. Kakashi tied them up and placed them against the trunk of the tree. Tazuna-san. I need to talk to you, Kakashi said. Naruto shivered at his sensei's glare. These are Chunin from the hidden village of Mist. Known for their vigor while fighting, and sometimes use of poison. The wound on your arm, Naruto, is currently filled with poison. Don't move or else it will only get worse. We can cut it open and take out the poison afterwards. How were you able to see where we were? One of the Chunin asked. A puddle of water during this sunny day? Not possible. Tazuna coughed. Why didn't you help the kids when you could have? I wanted to find out who they were really targeting. And in this case, it was you, Tazuna-san. The mission entailed us to protect you from some thieves and crooks, not trained shinobi. At the very minimum, this is a blank mission already. We would be conducting outside of our transcribed duty if we continue this mission. Naruto uncomfortably looked at Tazuna, seeing the look of desperation on the man's face, before he looked back at his hand. The poison was spreading, and each second he could feel a jolting pain cross his arm. Sakura gulped, sweating. I think it's better we quit now, sensei. Naruto needs some medicine for the poison, and we really aren't trained for this at all. Kakashi nodded. I would agree, Sakura. My EXP. The quest. If I don't complete it, will I die? How seriously should I take the system? Naruto thought, hyperventilating. He grit his teeth. He had to make a decision now. Grabbing his kunai, Naruto jammed the weapon into his arm. Blood burst from the cut, removing the red liquid along with any remnants of poison in his body. Naruto? What the hell? Sakura screamed. Naruto grinned through the pain. He held out his bloodied fist to Tazuna, whose eyes widened. Oi, drunkard. Look at this fist closely. No matter who comes to stop me, even the Hokage himself, I'll protect you until your stupid bridge is built, alright? We need to continue the mission. Ding! Skill, public speaking has increased by a level. Public speaking is now LVL 3. After being scolded for cutting his hand so deeply, Kakashi wrapped Naruto's hand with bandages, noting now the wound was practically healed already. Ding! New skill achieved, self-regeneration LVL 1. Sweet! I can heal by myself now? No wonder I'm not feeling much pain in my hand either. Naruto eyed his hand with wonder, but he ignored it for now. Team 7 got on the ferry carefully, trying not to tip the boat as their combined weights sat on the wooden ship. Mist quickly gathered over the waters, which left the blonde blindsided. The ferry guide gently rowed the boat, each stroke sending them further along the sea. A huge bridge eventually appeared above them, its cobalt structure visible through the slightly cleared mist. It's best we don't make any noise. If Gata even gets a sniff of us, we're all gonna die, the tour guide said gravely. So this was the bridge that opposed Gata's entire control on the shipping industry surrounding Wave? In Naruto's opinion, it was kind of small. But it was also the first step towards a good direction. The ferry went through a wall of canals, leaving them in a tunnel of darkness for a bit of time. But once the opening became clear, Naruto could clearly see the welcome presence of trees and other greens began to appear. Wow! Sakura pronounced with stargazed eyes. The ferry was parked near one of the docks, giving time for Naruto and the others to leave. I can't go any further. I wish you the best on your venture, however risky it is, the fairy guide said to Tazuna. Tazuna smiled. I understand. Thank you for your assistance. Please, Kakashi-san, get me home safe, Tazuna asked the Jonin, tipping his straw hat. What did you say? Kakashi asked nonchalantly. Never mind. Naruto looked at the road ahead of him, following the footsteps of Sasuke, who was slightly ahead of him. He personally had a lot of work to do in the mission, and it was certainly crucial. 3,000 EXP was the most he was ever offered for a quest, and getting that would give him a serious boost to surpass Sasuke. There was also the mysterious class and title he would be getting. He knew that the title would give him some extra points, but the class he was receiving was completely ambiguous. Usually the system would pop up and give him a brief description of what it was, but this time it never did. Naruto's game plan for his next few attributes was to stock up on dexterity and wisdom. His luck was terribly low, for whatever reason. But he didn't want to waste the points on something so basic like luck. The blonde noticed how Kakashi's hands twitched slightly, which was weird considering he would probably never notice that normally. Maybe my deduction skill is acting up. Everyone duck! Kakashi yelled. Naruto went to his knees as a gigantic sword flew through the space his head was, before piercing itself into the wood of the tree above them. And on top of the blade. Naruto shivered. Ding! Warning, high bloodlust detected. The man only showed his bare back to them, the slightly grayish skin looking alien to the Konoha shinobi. Striped, baggy pants and leg warmers covered the bottom half of his body. But that wasn't the scary part. The man's face was covered with bandages, leaving only his eyes and hair for viewing. The sheer intensity of the glare made Naruto freeze. Oh, observe. This guy. He's on the same level as Kakashi. Demon of the Hidden Mist? 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist? As much as I hate to say it, we're not a match for him right now. Momochi Zabuzakin, Hidden Mist's infamous missing in, I didn't expect to see you here. Everyone, stay far back. He's on another level. I know. I guess I'll have to reveal it now, Kakashi said, pulling up his headband. Kakashi's eyes glowed a scarlet red, with a few black tomos swirling around the pupil. What is that? Naruto thought with a frown. He observed how Sasuke's face scrunched up in confusion. One of the symbols of Konoha's supremacy, the Sharingan. It's an honor to see it in person, Zabuza said, his deep voice cutting through the mist. Naruto glanced at their sensei. Sharingan? Sasuke glared at Kakashi. The Sharingan is the counter to all taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. It's a dojutsu that is available to only some. But the trademark ability of the Sharingan. The Sharingan gives the wielder the ability to copy their opponent's techniques while they see them. The shinobi who has copied more than 1,000 jutsu, copy Ninja Kakashi, Zabuza finished, before crouching onto the sword. Cover to Zunasan, and don't interrupt the fight, it's an order. Zabuza disappeared in a flash, before appearing once more, standing on top of the water next to them. Over there, Sakura pronounced. Ninpu, Hidden Mist Jutsu. Strands of mist manifested and twirled through the air like the tentacles of an octopus, before hiding Zabuza completely behind the thick density of the air. Zabuza is well known as a silent killer, an assassin. Be on guard. Naruto gulped. The mist. The white air continues to become even more concentrated and thicker, to the point where Naruto could barely see the orange in his own clothing. Ding! Warning, extreme bloodlust detected. New skill achieved, Key Endurance LVL1. Naruto could feel his hands and legs trembling as he looked at the others in worry. Sasuke and Sakura were the same, to the point where Sakura almost fell down in fear. Sasuke, Naruto, Sakura. I assure you not to worry, Kakashi said, looking back at them with an eye smile. I never let any of my comrades die. Tough luck. Naruto felt his heart tear out of his chest as Zabuza's voice echoed from behind him. But just before Zabuza's blade sliced through them all, Kakashi-sensei dove, piercing his kunai into the man's skin. But it was a water clone. But Kakashi was also a water clone. But then Zabuza was also a water clone. Is this how a Jonin fights? Naruto asked no one in particular. Yes, Sasuke answered plainly. Kakashi was promptly thrown into the pond next to them, Zabuza following closely behind. Water release, water prison jutsu. Kakashi's gargled voice gasped out loud as a ball of swirling, chaotic water encircled the Jonin, making him completely trapped. But that wasn't even the least of the Genin's worries. Water collected in front of them, slowly taking the form of Zabuza. You kids. Really think you're worthy of being ninja? Standing there, cowering as I release a tiny bit of bloodlust. Have you even done your first kill yet? Humph. At your age I murdered my entire class, Zabuza growled. Naruto gritted his teeth in anger. You think that's impressive? You're a mons. A foot hit him directly in his chin a second later, knocking him several meters away. Naruto groaned in pain as he felt his jaw with his hands, making sure nothing was bent in any way. He had grabbed his headband in midair, which had become loose the second Zabuza kicked him. Sasuke, take the others and run away with Tsunasin. Zabuza can't move as long as this jutsu is active, Kakashi shouted from his stuck position. Run? Again? Am I really that useless? Irika gave me this headband. I promised I would become Hokage. All that struggle, just to run away. Naruto stood up, swiping away the dust on his headband. He began tying it to his head. Someone once told me, those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. I won't abandon you, sensei. The clone snorted. Words won't, shut up. Eyebrowless freak. I'm not just an ordinary genin, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the future Hokage of Konoha. Write it down. Sakura stood, surprised. Is this really Naruto? Sasuke, I got a plan. Everything was set up, from the seals to the strategy which made them. Zabuza smirked. Oroga, Naruto couldn't just stand and listen right after he made such a cool speech, could he? Shut it. I don't have time for your word shadow clone jutsu. 50 to 60 clones appeared around Zabuza, creating a swirl of dust around the terrain. Activating. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu LVL2 activated. Usage drains 20 MP points each minute. Yada! The clones yelled, charging towards the lone man. But even with better taijutsu than the Naruto from the academy, the clones got decimated. Each swing of Zabuza's sword managed to wipe out 5 or 6 of his clones. But all of that didn't matter, the clones managed to remain alive longer than they would have. The superior acrobatics of the Uchiha made sure of that. Once around half remained, Naruto gave out his command. Self-destruct. Smoke burst out from each clone, covering the grass fields with white. It wouldn't last long, but a brief second was all they needed. Naruto tossed the Fuma Shuriken to Sasuke, who smirked in recognition. Now we're talking, Sasuke said, smirking. With a dramatic flash, Sasuke unwinded the shuriken to its full mast. He leaped high into the air, before throwing it with insane velocities. The shuriken went past the clone and to the real target, the real Zabuza. Zabuza smirked. He caught the shuriken with his hands before jumping over the other one while maintaining the jutsu on Kakashi. But in place of the shuriken passing by, Naruto materialized out of thin air. Carrying a kunai in one hand, he placed his fingers together. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Both clones and the original Naruto threw the kunai at Zabuza, trying to distract him from the water prison technique. Zabuza rolled his eyes. It's almost embarrassing how you guys underestimate me. With a turn of his sword, he reflected all of the kunai lazily. But Zabuza's back was turned. Fire release, Fireball Jutsu. A ball of scarlet, searing hot fire aimed directly at Zabuza flew in the humid air. Zabuza, with one hand in his prison, wouldn't be able to counter the jutsu. Or so he thought. Water release, Water Bullet Jutsu. Zabuza growled, doing one-handed hand signs. The ball of water met Sasuke's fire in the middle, creating even more steam to spawn in the already present mist. But while the vision mattered, the currently split concentration of Zabuza mattered more. The demon of the mist was occupied with doing one-handed seals and maintaining his prison for Kakashi at the same time, and didn't notice how Naruto was nowhere to be seen. A hand grabbed hold of Zabuza's leg from underneath the water, and yanked him into the pond. Naruto wasn't sure what he was thinking to willingly pull Zabuza towards himself, but it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. Immediately, the assassin's enraged face came to his vision underwater, as he began moving his sword. Ding! Battle Strategics increased by a level. Battle Strategics is now LVL 3. Leveling up didn't have the same effect while you were about to die. Goodbye, world. Kakashi grabbed the blade before it struck, his Sharingan spinning wildly. Naruto quickly swam away as the Jonin-level shinobi began their battle once more. He came on shore a few seconds later, panting for air as Sakura helped him get up. And that was when a battle of storms started. Jutsu after jutsu of water was issued from each shinobi as the genin stared at the intensity of the battle in awe. Tsunamis of water were casually thrown at each other, uncaring of anything that stood in the way. Naruto never in his life realized just how much potential water really had, either did he realize just how scary it was. Eventually, the water died out. Naruto and the gang cheered as they saw that Zabuza was completely cornered. Running forward, they tried to see Kakashi deliver the final blow. That's when two Saban impaled themselves into Zabuza's neck, drawing blood instantly. Sakura gasped, pausing her movements with Tazuna, whereas Naruto and Sasuke trudged forward. The person stood boldly on a branch of a tree, his strange clothing marking him as different from the rest of them. With similarly striped pants like Zabuza, green haori, brown sash, and peculiar mask, Naruto couldn't really decide whether it was an enemy in front of them or not. I have to thank you for dealing with Zabuza for me. It has certainly been a tough journey tracking this man, the person said with a surprisingly gentle voice. You're a hunter nin of the hidden mist, Kakashi pronounced. Correct. It's our duty to hunt down missing nin like Zabuza here. The conversation continued, but Naruto toned their voices down. He knew what the masked boy was saying made sense, but his gut, it told him something was wrong. The continuous, tingling feeling made him do something. Observe. Missing nin, apprentice of mist. This person is on Zabuza's side. Naruto realized with a widening of his eyes. But why would he kill Zabuza? No, there had to be something else going on. Haku was at an absurd level of 16, there was no way she would make such a mistake. If he told Kakashi about his absolute findings, he would be questioned about the source. Naruto definitely didn't want to tell anyone about the system he had and be seen as a complete delusional. The only option was directly confronting her. Naruto walked towards Zabuza's body and Kakashi, practically feeling Haku's eyes on him. Kakashi-sensei, something's not really adding up. Ya mind if I test something? Naruto whispered. Kakashi nodded. Sure. Naruto took a deep breath. Commence stage 1. Hey! You don't happen to be on Zabuza's side, do you? Naruto asked loudly. On second thought, this really wasn't a good idea. Haku's calm composure immediately dwindled down, his posture a nervous wreck. Sakura began walking towards the group with Tazuna behind her. Hey guys! What's happening? A Saban was placed a millimeter to her neck a second later, Haku behind her. Or was it a clone? It didn't matter, Sakura was in trouble. Sakura! Naruto yelled in distress. Any one of you move and I'll kill her in front of your eyes. Haku's calm, comforting voice was entirely gone, replaced by the cold, monotone voice of a weapon. Naruto noticed how Kakashi's and Sasuke's hands twitched, waiting for the right moment to strike. While Sakura's predicament was horrible, it also proved one thing. Zabuza was alive. Commence stage 2. Leave Sakura alone or else I'll kill Zabuza, right in front of your eyes, Naruto said, motioning to kunai he placed on Zabuza's neck the second he saw Haku move. This was a huge gambit, but one that could potentially pay off. Naruto had made a huge mistake, which was tempting the anger of the trigger-happy Haku instead of letting her go with the basically dead Zabuza. Haku let go of Sakura right after, her motions portraying her eagerness to keep her master alive. Sakura gasped before she ran towards Sasuke, pulling out her kunai. Good, now we can just have Kakashi kill Zabuza and team up on Haku. Naruto's kunai stabbed itself into water. They had severely underestimated Zabuza. When the hell did he switch with a clone? With a swirl of wind, Haku disappeared a second after. Naruto fell to his knees with a deep breath. It didn't go too bad, right, sensei? Kakashi eyed him. We need to have a talk. The genin groaned. This wasn't going to end well at all. So you thought it was too much of a coincidence for the hunter nin to appear right when Zabuza lost? Kakashi asked, trying to confirm his thoughts. Naruto's sweat dropped. Pretty much, yeah? No, actually I have a blue box thing that tells me a person name, title, occupation, and abilities at a single glance, and I've used it against Haku to find out who he really was. The truth was sometimes so unbelievable that it was better to flat out lie. Right now, Kakashi was laid down comfortably in a sleeping bed, resting his body after the strenuous use of the Sharingan. Well, thanks to Naruto, we know that Zabuza is still alive. And while Sakura was in a strained position because of it, something bad could have happened regardless considering it was a water clone. Good job, Naruto, Kakashi said with his signature eye smile. Naruto blushed with the praise. Regardless, we need to start training once Zabuza comes back. While it was a clone, I know that the real Zabuza was heavily damaged, so, for now at least, we have time to train and be more prepared. Train? Sensei, that guy is way too strong. He's somewhere around your level, what chance do we have against him? Sakura whined. Overestimating oneself is bad, but underestimating oneself can sometimes be even more detrimental. Yes, you can beat Zabuza as of now, but the Hunter Nin is also a target. Plus, you guys are seriously improving. I was impressed by the ideas Naruto made during the whole fight, as well. Sasuke narrowed his eyes on Naruto. Was the dobe always this smart? Or was he faking it all during the academy? Sakura nodded in agreement at the statement. She was pretty impressed by Naruto as well. Woohoo! I'm hyped to train now! Naruto exclaimed, the smile on his face working to ease the atmosphere. What are you so excited for? That's just useless. A short kid came from the hall, the perpetual frown on his face evident, ending up hugging Tazuna. Inari, these are the ninja who helped protect Grandpa during his travel. They'll help us too, Tsunami said, frowning at the kid. Inari stared blankly at them. But Mom, these ninjas are gonna die anyways. What did you say? Naruto growled. You're no match for Gato. Don't tell me what I can and can't. Naruto! Sakura scolded, dragging the blonde back. He's just a kid, idiot. Naruto quelled his anger, before letting his grin creep back up. Activating. Skill, Will of Fire LVL1 activated. I don't know who the hell Gato is, but he stands no chance against me. No matter how many people say I can't do something, I'll prove them all wrong. I'll save you and your village in this mission. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the future Hokage of the Leaf, believe it? Inari's glare deepened. What's a Hokage? Another word for stupid? For once in his lifetime, Naruto had nothing to say. I just want my 3000 EXP. The training will begin now. Finally, some actual training from Kakashi, Naruto thought with a grin. So far, they've only done some standard formations and some useless missions. Kakashi-sensei held a finger up. I'm sure you all know what chakra is, right? The three genin nodded in unison. Good. Today, we'll learn about using chakra with some special exercises. Huh! But we already know how to use jutsu, sensei, Sakura said confusedly. You've done jutsus, alright. But not effectively. Using a large sum or chakra on every jutsu isn't effective at all, and can make your jutsu weak if not dysfunctional. Naruto hummed in confirmation. Weak jutsus in the middle of a battle is the first step to death. Not only does chakra control help minimize the amount of chakra used, but also the speed at which you can conduct a jutsu. If you continue as a shinobi without controlling your chakra, no doubt about it, you'll die. Naruto gulped. So what's the training, sensei? Tree climbing. Huh. I can do that already. Sakura whispered to herself. I can see you aren't that excited. Well, that's to be expected. Any genin Dan climbed a tree, after all. However, this isn't the regular tree climbing you do as kids. You have to do it without your hands. Without my hands? Naruto said out loud, not sure how that would work. Do I have to hug the tree with my legs and pull myself upwards? You'll see. Kakashi walked to the tree, before placing a foot on the tree. Then another. And one more. The Jonin was walking up the tree without using his hands, the crutches in his arms coming up with him. Kakashi made his way up the long tree like it was a casual walk, before looking down on them upside down as he made his way across a branch. The genin looked in awe at their sensei. So that's what he meant, Sasuke grunted. You see? The trick is to gather the correct amount of chakra to your feet, and use it to stick it to the tree. The effective use of chakra is required for such a technique. How will this train us for Zabuza, sensei? Sakura asked. Exactly. Controlling your chakra is one of the most basic aspects of being a shinobi in battle. This exercise's main aspect is learning the exact amount of chakra needed to be applied in your feet, which is a skill that every shinobi must perfect as genin. A tradition of sorts. That chakra needed for climbing a tree isn't large, quite small actually, but getting the right level is difficult for beginners. The feet are the hardest part of the body to gather chakra in, after all. So basically, we can climb on anything after this is done? Naruto asked curiously. Pretty much. Some materials can be tougher than others, though. Climbing or walking on water is a whole different matter altogether, though. Walking on water? Isn't that what Zabuza did? Theoretically, Kakashi continued. Learning this technique means you have the capability to learn any jutsu. Your affinities will come into play then as well. But that's not for now. The other thing you gain from this exercise is the stamina needed to continue fighting while controlling your chakra for longer periods of time. I don't like talking too much, so we'll start for now. Kakashi threw 3 kunai to each of the genin, the weapons landing in front of them. Mark your progress with these kunai. Whoever gets the highest is practically the best at chakra control. For now, since you are beginners, try getting a running start to climb. Make sure to use the standard seal as well, it will be easier. Naruto looked up at the tree in front of them in determination. I'm gonna do this faster than everyone else here. Especially Sasuke. Naruto put his hands into a seal. Let's do this. He felt the presence of chakra in his body, before commanding it to move to his feet. Only some, Naruto urged. When he felt the chakra pool on the surface of his feet, he began to run. He placed his foot on the tree, making sure he maintained the chakra on his foot at the same time. The weight on his body drastically decreased at once. It was working. Naruto placed another foot on the tree afterwards, until he was parallel with the tree. But he didn't stop there. Naruto ran 2 more steps before the chakra in his feet waned, signaling the end of his run. Naruto cut through the bark of the tree with a quick slash, marking his progress. Ding! New skill achieved, Chakra Climbing LVL1. Skill, Chakra Climbing has increased by a level. Chakra Climbing is now LVL2. New skill achieved, Chakra Control LVL1. I guess I did it. Naruto thought to himself with a frown. He looked at Sasuke's progress with curiosity, noting how his mark was around the same level. I'm catching up. So it seems Sakura can control her chakra better than the rest of you. Impressive. Naruto looked at the pink-haired genin in shock, not thinking to see her progress as well before. She sat on the branch of her tree with a grin. This. How? Naruto clenched his hands. Sasuke had similar emotions as well. He mostly wondered how Sakura managed to get so far, but also how Naruto was at the same level as him. Sorry, Naruto, but it looks like Sakura is ahead of you in the race of becoming Hokage. And Sasuke, it seems the Uchiha clan isn't as worth the prestige as it once was. Sasuke and Naruto looked at each other, the passion to get better at the exercise clear in both of their eyes. Naruto looked at Sakura with wide eyes. Maybe he could ask her for some tips? Hell no. He was going to prove to Kakashi that he was Hokage material, all by himself. No help needed whatsoever. Ding! New quest. Testing the waters created. Quest details. Learn how to chakra climb and walk on water in a week. Quest rewards. Job change quest unlocked. EXP 1200 Kakashi's respect. Failure. Lose all of your self-respect permanently. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. Hell yeah! Naruto shouted aloud. The other shinobi looked at him in confusion, before coming back to the matter at hand. Naruto didn't care how long it took, he was going to master both those techniques in a day. Ding! Chakra climbing is now LVL max. Naruto puffed and panted, standing on the apex of the tallest tree in the forest. The dense bundle of leaves made a convenient platform for him to stand on, as he stood and observed the bright sun and the rest of the dark, green forest. I did it! Naruto shouted for the world to hear, his back leaned backwards. Ding! Skill, Chakra Control has increased by a level. Chakra Control is now LVL2. Sasuke looked at the blonde with undeniable envy. How? He thought with anger, but above all, confusion. Why was this so hard for him? And how did Sakura and Naruto do it so easily? Kakashi closed his book, equally impressed with Naruto. He had hoped the blonde would go slower so that he and Sasuke would boost each other and progress faster, but this was fine too. His rate of improvement. It's remarkable. Almost like a Kekai Genkai IV, never seen anything like it. Is this the power of a Jinchuriki? Or is Naruto really that talented? To manage something like this in 4 hours, she not only did it, he completely mastered it as well. Time will only tell. Kakashi thought, closing his book with a silent thud. Naruto ran down the tree with speed, before flipping onto the ground with a dramatic flourish. He grinned at Sakura and Sasuke, who were confused and seething respectively. Now that I've mastered it, am I in the lead, sensei? Naruto asked the Jonin. Kakashi placed a hand on the back of his head. What lead? Naruto scowled. Whatever. What do we do next? I think we need to wait and see. It's best for both you and Sakura to take a rest for now, considering how tired you've become. Tired? Me? I can go for much longer, sensei, Naruto proclaimed to the silver-haired man. I was going to do sparring sessions, but considering my predicament, it's best we don't. Besides, overtraining isn't good either, Naruto. How am I going to complete the quest? Naruto thought angrily. He needed that experience if he wanted to level up. He couldn't wait until that damn bridge was finally built. Who knows how long that would take? And to learn how to walk on water, Naruto needed Kakashi's help. Sensei, I'm gonna try and learn how to walk on water. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. I'm afraid that might be a bit too advanced for a genin, but considering you master tree climbing much faster than I thought, it's fine for now. The technique is similar to tree climbing, but your chakra has to adjust to water, which isn't solid. So? Naruto questioned. So just leaving the correct amount of chakra there for your feet to stick won't work considering the randomness of water. You have to send pulses of chakra continuously to your feet every second, and maintain that as well. Naruto could feel his brain churning trying to process all the information. Kakashi sighed. It's best for you to try it yourself and learn along the way. I believe there's a lake north of here, but don't wander too far. Don't be too disheartened if it doesn't work though. I'll be impressed if you manage to do it in 2 weeks. Naruto saw the opportunity to gain something from this the moment Kakashi said his last sentence. Alright, sensei. If I master this water thingy in a week, you'll have to give me a favor. Kakashi shrugged. Okay. But what will you use the favor for? I don't know. Teach me a new jutsu? Fair enough, it's best you start now though, if you really want to win this. Naruto nodded. He had some work to do. First day, splash! Why is this so damn hard? Naruto shouted with frustration as he fell into the water for the 10th time. Clothes soaking wet, he swam out of the small pond before attempting the technique again. Finding the pond wasn't very hard, in fact, it was much nearer than Naruto expected. Continuous chakra. Small pulses. Change it accordingly. Naruto mumbled to himself. He placed one foot into the water, checking to see whether it worked or not. Well, of course it didn't. But there was some small amount of upward force on his sandal, which seemed to be a good sign. Sighing, Naruto took his foot out, before looking into the sky. It had only been 30 minutes since he left, but Naruto still felt his progress was slow for some reason. The sun was slowly setting, meaning it was best if he went back for now. I'm here, Naruto said, opening the door. Kakashi waved. Yo. Tsunami walked in and out, setting dinner for everyone. Naruto looked at the brooding Uchiha with a smirk. Did Sasuke manage to finish the exercise? The raven-haired boy winced. Not yet, but he got much better. He'll be better than you soon, Naruto. Sakura assured the blonde, or Sasuke himself. Sure, Naruto chuckled smugly. Sasuke, seeing no other option, uttered out a few very surprising words. How did you do it, Naruto? Naruto froze, shocked. There's no way I heard that correctly. Sakura and Kakashi felt the same way. Could you repeat that? Naruto asked. Sasuke gritted his teeth. I said, how were you able to do it? 1. I'm super awesome. Much more awesome than a regular shinobi, and 2. Did I say that I was awesome? I don't care about that. Just give a few tips or something. Naruto tilted his head slightly. Tips? Me? Okay, I can do that. Sasuke sighed in relief. But it won't be that beneficial for me, right? In return, you have to teach me a jutsu of your own, Naruto said, trying not to laugh at Sasuke's expression. You fine. I'll teach you something. Kakashi smiled at the relationship between his genin. It reminded himself about his own days as one, however short they might have been. Dig in, everyone, Tsunami said from the kitchen. Finally! By the time Naruto finished his dinner, he wasn't in the mood to train any longer. Not because the food was bad, but because he learned about the tragic demise of Inari's father, the hero of Wave. Tsunami's teary eyes looked back at the group of ninja. Ever since he died, Inari hasn't been the same. Don't worry, brat. Naruto thought with a frown. I'll save this village, and you at the same time. Second day, I'm floating. Naruto was practically levitating in the deep water, his feet submerged into the water entirely. It wasn't complete walking on water, but very good progress. Ding! Skill, chakra control has increased by a level. Chakra control is now LVL 3. Naruto fell into the water as his concentration slipped when he looked to the blue screen on his side. Damn it! He swam back to land, patting all of his clothes dry. Maybe he could take a short break. Or a long one. Wake up, you'll catch a cold. Naruto shook his head as felt his eyes open on their own, meeting the black eyes of a black-haired girl in front of him. Where was he? Oh right, training. Who are you? Why are you gathering leaves? Naruto asked, yawning. These leaves are good medicine, which is really important to have in these types of areas. Naruto nodded in understanding. Huh. It's really early, but I guess it makes sense. What were you doing so early? I saw you sleeping near the pond, so I brought you near the sun over here to dry up. I was doing some training, actually. Oh, that's what I thought. Looking at your headband, you're a ninja, right? Naruto grinned widely. Yep. The girl's eyes widened. That's incredible. Why are you training? The blonde clenched his fists. I need to become stronger, a lot stronger actually. Why so? Naruto paused. Usually no one asked any further. Becoming Hokage, it's my dream. To make everyone acknowledge me, and to prove that I'm more than just a hopeless brat. And who are you pursuing this dream for? Eh? Is there anyone that's important to you? The girl emphasized. Naruto reminisced about all the people he knew in his life. Yeah, he definitely had a lot of people important to him. Yeah, of course I do. The important people in my life are the reason I want to become strong, in a way. Without even a single important person, what's the point of becoming stronger? The girl smiled warmly. You seem to understand, though not many do. Let's meet somewhere else again. What type of training are you doing anyways? Oh, I'm trying to walk on water, but it's really not working out. Naruto didn't miss how the girl's eyes widened in recognition. Why does an innocent person like her recognize something like that? Ding! Skill, deduction increased by a level. Deduction is now LVL4. Naruto did something he should have done from the start. Observe. Naruto's eyes widened in shock briefly, before coming back to close again. My luck is seriously horrible. I might need to give it some points once I level up. But what was more shocking? Haku wasn't a bad person at all. While she was the apprentice of the wrong person, Naruto could almost relate to her. Fighting her right then and there would probably be a loss for Naruto, considering his current level and the lack of information he had on her as well. He could just leave right now, seeing how Haku didn't appear to want to harm him in any way, which was surprising, considering she definitely knew who she was. It wasn't like Naruto had threatened the life of her master the last time they met. Even though it hadn't really produced an outcome. Naruto looked at her level apprehensively. Maybe there was something he could gain out of this too. She has to know how to water walk, right? Hey, do you have any tips for walking on water? Naruto asked inquisitively. Haku froze. But I'm not a ninja, I don't think I'm qualified to give you tips. That's the proper answer. How should I continue after that? I'm not so sure about that. I'm a pretty good judge of whether someone is lying or not, and my gut is saying you're pretty skilled as a ninja, Naruto said casually, not minding the fact that he was blatantly lying through his teeth. Why would you think I'm trained? Naruto thought up the most random things to say and shoved it into a single conversation. Your gait, and the way you move generally. I just found it similar to shinobi back from my village, understand? Now, can you please help me? I've been stuck on this for a few days. Haku paused, dark eyes trained on Naruto's blue for an extended period of time. Naruto wasn't sure for how long, but he didn't particularly care at that point. Well, you are certainly very observant, impressive indeed. But fine. Nice. For tips. Well, my master taught me in quite an unorthodox way. For one, always practice the exercise with your eyes closed. It makes it easier to focus on the feeling of chakra on your feet. And two, imagine your chakra molding itself into the water, rather than just sticking onto your feet. Naruto nodded, imprinting all of the words into his brain. Haku smiled. That's really all I can tell you. I'll have to leave now. Thank you. The girl made her way out of the trees, before turning back one more time. By the way, she's telling me now? I won't let her have the satisfaction. Naruto's stubborn nature pulled through, pushing him to say the next sentence. The apprentice of Zabuza? Yeah, I know, Naruto finished for her. Naruto felt the air between him and Haku suddenly chill. This might have been a mistake, but he wasn't going to stop now. To be honest, it sounded really cool in hindsight. From what he observed from his previous encounter with Haku, she was incredibly protective of Zabuza. Maybe he was her father or something. I don't know why you're with that guy, seeing how nice you really are, but I'm not gonna ask. 'Cause the next time we meet, I'll be knocking him out in front of you. Haku looked back, making Naruto flinch at the state of her eyes. They radiated anger. But then they quelled down afterwards. My master is one of my important people. I will not tolerate any ill words against him. However, I will not kill you considering you were in my hospitality until now. Naruto didn't understand how someone could have a ruthless murderer as an important figure in their lives, but he didn't want to question it. Haku left into the midst of woods, leaving the blonde alone to ponder what even happened. Fourth day, Naruto placed another foot on the water carefully, his eyes closed in concentration. He molded the chakra to the water, and rapidly emitted pulses of the energy. It worked. Woohoo! Naruto shouted. He began walking a bit faster across the pond, before attempting a jog, before sprinting across the water like it was regular grass. Walking on water felt amazing. Ding! Skill, chakra control has increased by a level. Chakra control is now LVL 5. Naruto leaped off the water onto the soft grass beside it, relishing in the fact that he wasn't wet. He had done it before a week passed, just like he promised Kakashi-sensei. Ding! Quest, testing the waters completed. Rewards, job change quest unlocked, EXP 1200 Kakashi's respect. Congratulations! You leveled up. Player is now LV7. 2 attribute points gained. Naruto could only celebrate even louder as he received not 1, but 2 attribute points at once. Was that because he was level 7? Did that even mean anything? Naruto prepared to go back to Tsunami's house to tell Kakashi the news, but was stopped when another notification came up. Ding! New quest, survive created. Quest details, survive. Quest rewards, new job? Failure, death. Does player accept the quest? Yes/no. Naruto had no idea what a job was, nor did he really want to know. He just leveled up, and received 2 attribute points. He needed to tell Kakashi so he could learn a new jutsu. It was too late to distract himself with this quest right now. Best to go with. No. Yes/no. Naruto blinked. He could have sworn that he had said no. Shrugging, he repeated his command. No. Yes/no. No. Yes/yes. What the whatever, yes, I guess. It was just a quest like always, and he would get some rewards in the end anyways. Transporting. Time seemed to freeze as Naruto's body started to shimmer a light blue. It started from his feet, the body parts transforming into small, digital cobalt blue before vaporizing into nothingness. He lost feeling in his legs, then waist, stomach, shoulders, and finally, his face. Where am I? Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Where the hell am I? Naruto asked no one in particular. It was dark, so the genin's eyes took time to adapt to the environment. The surroundings slowly became more and more visible. Naruto almost wished it hadn't. He was in a large sewage of some kind. The murky water and reeking smell of sewer invading his nose made it obvious. The large, open expanse was only closed by the upper circular walls of the sewer canal. In between, a river of water slowly flowed down the sewer. What is this? Swish. Naruto's body moved on his own as he dodged a pair of kunai aimed at his head. He jumped back several meters to assess what was happening. Across the canal water stood 2 cloaked figures of a moderate height. Observe. Observing. Observation successful. Shinobi, LV6. Shinobi, LV7. 1 level 7 and 1 level 6 ninja against a single person? That would be hard for any regular genin, but this was Naruto. Activating. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu LVL2 activated. Usage drains 20 MP points each minute. Let's finally see where all this training got me, Naruto said as he got into stance, motioning for the 2 enemies to come with his forward hand. The shinobi leaped onto the water, using the same walking on water technique that Naruto had learned. The Uzumaki did the same, no longer having to think to maintain his chakra. Other ninja who recently learned the water walking technique usually take 1 or 2 days getting used to the feeling and be able to get consistent with it. Naruto, on the other hand, had the system on his side. Once he leveled up a skill to a certain amount, he could consistently maintain that level of performance forever or until he got tired. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Clones of Naruto surrounded Naruto, as they also began running alongside him. A torrent of water erupted from underneath Naruto as the sharp pressure of the element burst his clones to smoke. The water carried him quickly back out of the middle of the canal, pushing him roughly against the walls of the underground sewer. What kind of jutsu is that? Naruto asked with wonder, wincing as he felt small pain near his torso where the water managed to strike though. It had been completely wordless, and Naruto had barely seen the signs being made. Seeing the 2 shinobi slowly prowl up to him made him quickly stand up. He needed to summon more. Naruto's eyes bulged in pain as a punch embedded itself into his gut a second later. He leaned past the next punch right after, dropping into a crouch and delivering a sweet kick-a-cool combo. He found himself doing a lot using the Uchiha Taijutsu. In the span of half a second, The blue-eyed ninja spun backwards as he reverse-kicked the other enemy, at the same time getting slightly cut by a kunai revealed far too late. I have to stick with taijutsu and clones for now, not like I know anything else. Wait, why don't I know anything else? Naruto thought infuriatingly. The first thing he would do after getting out of this sewer hellhole was taking full advantage of the bets he made with Kakashi and Sasuke. But back to the matter at hand. Naruto brought out the kunai in his punch with a flourish, spinning it into a backhand position. He could do this. One of the shinobi launched forward, catching Naruto in an arm lock. Naruto used his smaller size to worm out of the grasp, before elbowing him in the jaw, knocking him backwards. Naruto followed the attack, landing a strong hook to the jaw. He felt the impact rock the lower-level shinobi, leaving him unconscious on the floor. The enemy disappeared in a flashing light of red. The warm-up is over. That was just a warm-up. The job quest will soon begin. The longer you survive, the more points earned and higher the tier the job assigned will be. What? Survive? What was this even about? The slow step of sandals on stone filled Naruto's ears. The terrified genin slowly turned his head, his eyes widening the instant he saw the target. Clank. 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 Plates of dark, red armor turned and collided as the tall man came closer and closer to Naruto. Hair stretching to his waist swayed lightly. But above all, the Konoha headband shined brightly on the man's head. Naruto didn't need to see the other features to know who it was. He had already memorized the man's face from staring at the Hokage monument for hours on end. Your opponent will be the god of shinobi, Hashirama Senju. No. No. This couldn't be happening. He can't survive against the first Hokage. How would he even get points? What was the system thinking, pitting him against the god of shinobi of all people? How would he even put up a fight? This wouldn't be a battle, it would be torture. Naruto was fighting the Hashirama Senju, the man whose tales and legends did a disservice to his capabilities. And he, a genin fresh out of the academy, was placed against that. Warning! Pressure beyond anything he ever faced immediately lunged itself at Naruto, who tried to scream but soon found that his throat wasn't listening to his commands. The blonde fell to his knees as he felt the almost tangible gravity placed upon him, restricting any movement. His chakra seemed almost frozen in place in response, the feeling of power in his veins not at all present. He was so used to feeling his chakra that he forgot just how it felt without it. In front of Hashirama Senju, Naruto was an ant. Not even an ant. He was much, much less. Hashirama Senju wasn't a regular human, no, there was something different about him. The type of power he felt. He was the next closest thing to a god. Red tentacles of chakra leaked from his body as Naruto fell into deep unconsciousness. Naruto held his head in pain as he felt a sudden migraine and dizziness rush over his head. The familiar presence of a forest and water served to ease him greatly. He was back at the pond. You survived for 12 seconds. Huh. I'm impressed, Naruto, Kakashi said genuinely. Naruto grinned smugly as he walked casually along the pond. At this point, he didn't even need to think as he laid foot after foot onto the water. I told you, sensei. Now, about that bet we made. Naruto drawled. Yeah? I'll think of something and teach it to you later. Naruto leaped out of the pond, walking towards the training sector where Sasuke and Sakura were. The blonde hadn't told Sasuke about the water exercise, something told him it wouldn't bode well to do so. Sasuke was still doing the tree exercise. Unsurprisingly, his kunai mark was much higher than before, but still far from perfect. Sasuke leaped off of the tree another time, his foot unsticking from the wood right at around 3/4 of the entire length. Better time than ever to start helping him, I guess. Hey Sasuke! Naruto called out to the tired genin. Sasuke looked back at Naruto with surprise, before settling his expression once more. What do you want? Naruto grinned. I'm here to help you. Saying that felt good. The raven-haired ninja bristled, before slowly nodding in acceptance. What do I do? Well, having seen you attempt the exercise itself, I can give some tips. The main issue with you right now is that you're unable to keep the chakra to your legs for enough time. That could be because you've put too much chakra into your legs, which would be impossible to control, Naruto mentioned. And how do I put less chakra? Sasuke asked. How do you know how much chakra to put in a fire jutsu versus a clone? Try and find that difference and apply it here. Sasuke stared at him like he was an alien. That's oddly smart coming from you. Naruto scowled. Yeah, whatever. I need the jutsu once we return to Konoha, by the way. Sasuke snorted before running towards the tree again. Naruto didn't need to look any longer and knew Sasuke would get it sooner or later. Besides, he had something even bigger to look forward to. 2 attribute points. 2. He had waited until now to add the points, not because he was an entirely patient person, but because he simply wasn't sure what exactly to do. Is it finally time to increase my luck and wisdom? Naruto asked himself, scratching the back of his head. He could keep his VIT stat the same for a long period of time, considering just how high it was. Strength might need some improvement. Luck, intelligence, and wisdom were the stats which were lacking the most. Balanced approach, eh? But something just felt so wrong with increasing his supposed luck and wisdom when he could automatically see the difference in his ability when he increased the other stats. Naruto sighed, the decision creating a tight knot in his head. I guess I'll just listen to Shikamaru. But not completely. Increase strength and wisdom using my attribute points. Attribute point has been used. Strength has been increased by 1 point. Attribute point has been used. Wisdom has been increased by 1 point. Naruto paused for a second, trying to sense a difference. He didn't feel any wiser. What a scam. He thought dejectedly to himself. Naruto took a look deeper into the woods. Maybe he could train by himself for a bit. Damn it! Naruto winced tiredly as ran across the treetops of the forest, his stamina quite low despite the large amount. Training against your own supercharged clones for hours on end was very, very tiring, especially considering it used your own chakra. Luckily, the sun was still out, and navigating back to Inari's home wasn't very difficult. Give or take 10 minutes, Naruto could already see the familiar path to the house they've been living in for a week by now. Leave my mom alone. Inari? Naruto ignored all of his fatigue as he pushed his stamina to the limit, urging his legs to propel him even faster. Yada! Right before a sword plowed through the small boy, Naruto slammed his fist right into the enemy's face, pushing at the last minute to knock the man into the water opposite of the docks. There was one more person. Naruto turned to Inari in worry. Are you okay? Behind why? A shining katana stopped right before Naruto's neck. Naruto grinned. Don't worry, these guys ain't nothing for me. After all, the clone could deal with the other guy easily enough. Why? Why did you even come here? Inari asked timidly. Why? Oh. I was training by myself for a while, and the others kind of left without me. So I assumed they would be here, but I guess they aren't. Inari nodded. Regardless, I'm glad you proved me wrong, Inari. A real sissy wouldn't have stood up against those guys like that. Hell, I'm not sure I would have done that when I was your age. You're strong, really strong, Naruto said, no longer looking at Inari. He needed to go. If they sent bandits towards Inari's family of all people, how would the actual bridge be? Who would they be facing? Naruto had a good idea who. Stay safe. I gotta go now. Heroes continue to be heroes, after all. Yeah. Inari cheered. Naruto grinned one last time, before running away. His grin slowly molded itself into a solemn frown. This wasn't going to end well, was it? Naruto made his way onto the bridge, trying to examine the players at hand. Well tried? The mist practically made it impossible to do so, but also made it very easy to guess who was behind it. Kakashi-sensei was fighting Zabuza, and Naruto wouldn't be surprised if Sasuke and Sakura were fighting Haku by now. Naruto slowly made his way into the mist, trying his best not to alert anyone, especially not Zabuza of all people. Once he was inside, he could clearly see what was happening. He was correct with his previous assumption, except for the fact that Tazuna was on the bridge as well, and Sakura was helping to guard him. What is that dome of ice? Haku's jutsu? Initially, Naruto was planning to sneak attack Haku. But the entire plan changed once he saw the bloodied body of Sasuke. I thought she was a nice person, but no. She's going all in on Sasuke. Naruto thought and raged. His eyes widened as he saw an opening. He took the chance. A small shuriken sliced through Haku's shoulder as he stumbled onto the bridge. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Without wasting any more words, Naruto made his way into the battlefield. Activating. Skill, Uchiha Clan Taijutsu LVL2 activated. Usage drains 20 MP points each minute. Naruto engaged the masked boy in combat. Let's test your taijutsu, shall we? Naruto smirked. I'm assuming you've completed the water walking exercise by now? Haku asked, almost like they weren't enemies at all. Naruto frowned. Why remind me of that now? He ignored her question. Naruto's clones barged in at once, aiming to overwhelm Haku with their sheer size and numbers. The blonde himself went into the air, landing behind Haku gracefully. He aimed a punch carefully at Haku's back, who was too occupied by his numerous other clones, even if they were rapidly decreasing in number. There was no way this punch would miss, right? Wrong. Haku didn't just dodge, he pivoted his legs before pushing Naruto's fist to the side with the back of his hand, redirecting all of the force in a single instant. What the? An instant later, he was swept to his feet by a soundless kick by the missing In, then dodging another hit due to the smallest of sounds from the rustling of Haku's baggy clothes. He hadn't realized before, but a reason why Haku's taijutsu was so deadly was because of how silent it was. Naruto wasn't able to hear any movement from Haku before she struck, which made her moves much more unnoticeable before they actually hit. It was a battle between the Uchiha taijutsu and Haku's own. On their own, the Uchiha taijutsu seemed to be much more effective in general, but in the mist, where senses like sound mattered so much, Haku's was even more effective. If this fight continued any longer, Naruto wouldn't be able to win. It would be best to retreat for now. Naruto summoned more clones to deal with, or slow down Haku for the time being. He had to find Sasuke. Was he inside? Hey! Sasuke jumped slightly as Naruto's voice rang in his ear. You came inside? Sasuke partly shrieked, an unusual sound coming from the Uchiha. Why not? Naruto shrugged lightly. You have no idea just what that guy can do in here. He's there, Naruto thought as he saw the image of Haku in one of the mirrors. Senbon impaled themselves into Naruto as he groaned in the sudden pressure in his back. Blood covered his orange jumpsuit soon after. But the pain wasn't unbearable. Both Naruto and Sasuke stood up immediately after, albeit wincing as they did so. We need to get the hell out of here, Naruto yelled. I'm trying, idiot, Sasuke yelled back. After a flurry of hand signs, red-hot fire was sent towards the opposite side of the ice dome. The fire reflected partially, flaring the entire enclosure in heat. But to no avail. Naruto looked around, defeated. If fire couldn't beat the ice itself, what would? But wait. The ice had melted slightly. You think your fire can beat a pinnacle of Kekkei Genkai? Haku's voice asked, echoing around the dome. Some more Senbon was thrown at the duo. This time, they were able to dodge more than a few, but were still unable to completely dodge all of them. Naruto desperately ran around the dome, trying to guess where Haku would appear next. What it was near impossible. Pain was all he felt as more objects pierced into his body, drawing more and more blood outwards. This isn't fair. Even with my leveling ability, I don't have any jutsu currently to counter Haku. Is this the end? The Senbon stopped. Amazing. The Sharingan. But will that change the result? Naruto prepared himself for another throw. But it was still too fast. Naruto, to the right! Sasuke yelled. Seeing no other option, he did what Sasuke told him. Nothing hit Naruto. Sasuke's eyes were glowing red. Maybe they had a chance of winning now. With the same jutsu that Kakashi had, Sasuke got a serious power boost. Normally, Naruto would be envious, but right now, survival seemed to be the more important thing. Naruto got up to his feet in a hurry, before running back towards Sasuke. He needed his guidance if he wanted to beat Haku right now. Sasuke's eyes swirled rapidly. Above us! Sasuke leaped out of the way, only to realize that Naruto hadn't done the same. His scarlet eyes widened. Did he? Naruto had jumped upwards. As Naruto met the incredibly fast Haku in the middle of his teleportation-type jutsu, he grappled Haku's hands to the side before kicking him in the torso, away from his intended direction. Finally, a direct hit. But he didn't stop there. Quickly summoning clones, they caught Haku's flying body before throwing it back to Naruto. The blonde slammed his foot into Haku's back, sending him into the bridge floor with a loud, painful thud. It had to be over by now. Naruto placed his kunai onto Haku's neck without hesitation, and stabbed inwards. Into water. A water clone. I'm sorry, Shinobi, Haku's voice said from somewhere behind him. Sasuke's body lay still next to Haku, whose Senbon stayed pierced all the way through the Uchiha's neck. Naruto's breath stilled. Haku bowed solemnly. It's amazing, really, to have found such a loyal comrade. He definitely could have dodged the projectiles at the last second, considering his own Kekkei Genkai, but doing so would have made you the target instead. Rage. You must be one of his own precious people, for him to react in such a way. If it means anything, I'm sorry for killing your comrade. But it was for my own survival, if anything else. Shinobi are born. Fury. Please do not take it to heart. Ding! The wants to lend you chakra. Do you accept? Yes/no. Haku. You're going to die. Naruto growled quietly. I don't think. Naruto disappeared into thin air, before appearing next to Haku once more. And your death will be especially painful. He launched a hook at Haku's stomach, pushing him through ice mirrors. Glass shards exploded on the impact, creating a hole in the once impenetrable dome of ice. A tornado of red chakra erupted around Naruto's body as he glared at the ragdoll-like body that rolled onto the bridge. No mercy. Naruto launched a kick straight into the face of Haku, cracking his mask into two. Haku's body spinned across the floor of the bridge, before he managed to grab hold of his balance. But it was already over. Tired, bloodied, and faced against an impossibly strong opponent, Haku was ready to give up. He stood up slowly, his eyes closed in acceptance of his death. I can't. Naruto stopped his punch at the last second. A gust of air pushed Haku's mask off of his face, revealing the feminine face to the open mist of the bridge. The whiskers on his face became less pronounced, his eyes became the regular, azure blue, and the red chakra no longer surrounded his body. Naruto stood in silence as he regarded the boy in front of him. Your friend is dead. Killed by me. And you still won't kill me? Naruto's rage spiked in an instant, but he reeled it back in by continuing his punch to Haku's face. You've become weaker. What exactly was that form earlier? Not like it matters. Naive people seem to think that letting their opponents live is an act of kindness. But not for me. You've shattered my reason for living. A weak shinobi like me isn't worthy enough to help Master Zabuza. So please, kill me. Naruto couldn't help himself. He laughed in disbelief. What's so great about him? He's a monster. He kills for fun. How can he be anyone's precious person? Haku smiled. Maybe you see him as so. But in the darkness of my times, Zabuza was the one who helped me the most. If I'm no use to the one I'm living for, what's the point of continuing to live? This type of logic. It's horrible. I hate it. So you give up after being beaten once? What about all of the training you did to come so far? Was that all useless, Haku? Haku nodded. Yes. You're hopeless, Naruto whispered. He brought up the kunai in a quick motion. He would do this quickly. Haku's eyes widened randomly. The missing nin was gone. Kakashi felt his Chidori impale itself into a body, but it wasn't the correct one. His accomplice sacrificed himself for him? Kakashi thought incredulously. Master. Haku whispered quietly. Kakashi. You were wrong again. Zabuza said, chuckling. Blood painted his masked face as his gray eyes started back at Kakashi's own. Thank Kami I helped the boy back then, if not, I'd be dead by now. Ha! Zabuza shouted, laughing loudly. He swiped his sword across, trying to cleave Kakashi into two, but missing entirely as Kakashi grabbed Haku's body and jumped backwards. Naruto gripped his kunai, but stopped when Kakashi addressed him. Don't. This is my fight, Naruto. Naruto gritted his teeth, but stayed still nonetheless. Yeah, he mostly likely would have died if he tried to fight against Zabuza, but he couldn't care less. Naruto. Naruto winced at Sakura's voice. Thank God you're alive. Let's get Sasuke and get out of here with Tazuna-san. Kakashi-sensei can handle this now. Sakura. Naruto said, pointing to Sasuke's body, which was slightly obstructed by the mist. Naruto watched as Sakura left with Tazuna towards Sasuke's body, before directing his attention back at the fight before him. Kakashi slowly dismantled Zabuza, the slow movements of the latter making it easy to guess his opponents, which was even easier for someone who had a Sharingan. Kakashi then demobilized both of Zabuza's arms in a brutal display of fighting. No more jutsus or mist to hide behind, Zabuza. It's over, the Jonin said coldly to the demon of the mist. Clack. Well. That man definitely made a fine fool of you, demon. A pity. If you die, how will I give you the proper fees? Naruto looked at the other end of the bridge to see a rather short man approach the trio slowly. Behind him stood a mob of bandits all equipping weapons of their own. Jagged hairline, small, black sunglasses, black shit, and purple tie. The man screamed shady business. Gatu. What's all of this? Zabuza asked murderously. Naruto took a step back. Business, Zabuza. I'm going to kill you now. So say your final prayers to the world, please. Don't worry, no one is going to miss you, hee hee. Someone would. What's the meaning of this? You really think I would pay that amount for you? Never. I'm a businessman, not running a charity. You're infamous around these areas, and incredibly skilled. Trying to betray and kill actual shinobi would be hard, considering how many friends they've made along the years. But you. Ha! You were perfect. A missing nin that no one cares about. Does it matter if you die? Don't take it too seriously, Zabuza. It's good business. Either way, it's not like you didn't cheat neither. The demon of the mist? Was that a joke? You lost to some random ninja that recently came here. You're not a demon, Gato said, cackling. Zabuza looked back at Kakashi. Kakashi, you are no longer my priority. End our fight. There is no motive for me to assassinate Tazuna. Kakashi nodded in acceptance. But, Sasuke. Gato stepped forward, kicking Haku's face with contempt. This girl or boy? Just as annoying as you. Naruto felt his rage overwhelm as he began running towards Gato, only to be stopped by Kakashi, who held the back of his jumpsuit. Naruto. There's too many of them. Naruto directed his ire towards Zabuza. Won't you do anything? He's disrespecting Haku in front of you. Zabuza shrugged, his arms stiff. So? Haku died. So? Haku was still your friend, a comrade. There are no real friends in the world of missing nin, child. We are either tools to be used or people who use others as tools, nothing more, nothing else. Haku was a useful tool that I appreciated for his strength. So I will repeat my question. So? Naruto growled in frustration. So? Haku really meant nothing to you in the end? He sacrificed himself for you and you won't do anything? Just standing there? A long silence enveloped the duo, the thick atmosphere between the two becoming even thicker. Kunai. Zabuza whispered. What? Kunai. Naruto threw his kunai to the demon of the mist immediately after. Zabuza caught the weapon in his mouth. He. Emotional. Kill them all, people. Gato yelled. The storm of people yelled as they infiltrated the bridge entirely, the sounds of multiple footsteps and battle cries filling Naruto's ears immediately. Zabuza went to meet them all at once. But Zabuza was a demon. He slashed through everyone using the kunai in his mouth, cutting through the mounds of bandits like scissors on paper. He dodged a dozen swords at once, before knocking into men several feet taller than him. Many bandits fell to the floor, lifeless, as a long gash spread through their necks in mere seconds. But even they were too much for Zabuza. Swords impaled Zabuza's chest as the swarm of men began to overwhelm the one man. But Zabuza still didn't stop. With the relentlessness of a starved lion, he embedded the kunai into Gato's chest. Zabuza laughed. Ha! Gato. I don't care if I die right now. But as long as you're coming with me to hell, I'll be happy. The demon finished the kill in its entirety soon after. Zabuza smiled for the last time in his life. I won't be seeing you any longer, considering you would be going to heaven, Haku. But, thank you? Naruto swallowed his throat in apprehension. Cherish the sight of a real man, Naruto, Kakashi said. This was all too much for a recently made genin. Naruto's eyes continued to stay wide as he swallowed all of the events into one session of his memory. Naruto! Sasuke is alive! Naruto's heart quickened as he glanced to his left, seeing the familiar blue-shirted boy raising a hand in greeting. I see. You really were too kind of a person, Haku. Naruto looked back at the bandits with anger. Now these guys deserve to die. Shadow Clone Jutsu. A day later. Zabuza and Haku's funeral was a quiet event. With only Team 7 and Tazuna present, the burial seemed to be more of a standard process rather than an act of caring. Which wasn't very surprising considering the lives the missing nin had held. Living solitary lives, they didn't have many friends to mourn their deaths for them. It was a small memorial site, the largest being the mountain of a sword behind Zabuza's funeral. It's an unfortunate thing. But don't be mistaken. Zabuza wasn't a good person, nothing he could have done would have changed that, but he did have his heart in the right place in the end. What's even more sad is that you, genin, had to experience a type of mission like this so early in your lives. An A-rank mission. It's fortunate I was your sensei, or else. Thank you, sensei, Sakura said politely. Well, I can't do it all the time. Should we leave now? Sasuke nodded. HN. Naruto looked at the graves before him. I'll come, sensei. Let me just stay here for a bit. Kakashi sensei raised an eyebrow. You sure? Positive. Your wish. Sasuke, Sakura, let's go. Naruto stayed still for much a while longer as the rest of the team left him behind. There was a particular reason why the blonde stayed behind in the first place, and it wasn't because he wanted to contemplate on the deaths of the duo, no matter how sad it was. The system was telling him something. Ding! New skill achieved, Shadow Extraction LVL1. Info: Shadow Extraction allows the transformation of dead bodies into shadows which can be recalled at any time for the player to use. Higher the difference in level, the lower the success rate. Higher the time taken after the body died, the lower the success rate. Higher the will of the person to stay in the afterlife, the lower the success rate. Current maximum shadows, 2. What? Does this mean I can revive them as shadows? Then came the next question. Who should he revive first? And would it really work? This was the first real ability the system had ever given him, so Naruto was slightly skeptical. Now, who should he go for next? Zabuza or Haku? It didn't really matter since he had 2 available spots anyways. But were these shadows the actual ones that died earlier? Were they the ninja he had just fought yesterday? Was Haku's sacrifice for nothing, if he could have revived her afterwards? Obviously, that wasn't the truth. But Naruto's paranoia quickly took over his senses. The ability gave him the chance to reunite Zabuza and Haku. But what if one of the summonings failed? It was best to check the limits of the ability for now. Considering the system said the higher the level the harder the extraction became, it would be easy to test out the limits of his own capabilities for now. Naruto went to the gravestone next to Zabuza. His hands were trembling, and his heart rate was at an all-time high. The grave stood painfully still, begging to be called upon, and the sword stood similarity, begging for someone to grasp its stilt once more. Use shadow extraction on Zabuza. Extracting. Extraction failed. What? 2 more chances remaining? Try again. Extracting. Extraction failed. 1 more chance remaining. Naruto needed this to work. Zabuza's death. It wasn't meant to be so disappointing. He needed another chance, whether as a shadow or the real thing. He wouldn't lose now. No matter what it would take, he needed this extraction to summon. Activating. Skill, Will of Fire LVL1 activated. Skill, Will of Fire LVL1 has bonus effect of increasing success rate of extraction by 10%. Zabuza. Your devotion to the sword is what got you the name Demon of the Mist. Now, show that same devotion to me. The same devotion that Haku served you with. Now, arise. Extracting. Extraction successful. Dark energy erupted from Naruto's body as he felt a rush of power exit his body like water behind a broken dam. The visceral aura flowed directly towards the dead bodies buried under the soil, until finally all of it disappeared into the ground. Then silence. But then the energy started pouring back out relentlessly. Tendrils of liquid shadows slowly began forming out of the grave, pooling into a shadowy mass without any defined shape. But the shadows continued to pool, building and building upon each other, slowly forming a familiar shape. 2 can't believe it. Naruto's eyes looked at the monstrosity before him. The shadowy mass of Zabuza stared back. Shadow Zabuza, LV1. He looked the same as always, except for the fact that the colors of his clothes were replaced by a shade of black, and his face showed a wispy blue, entirely missing the humane colors he once had. On his back, the giant sword he always used was perched comfortably, every contour of the metal shaded black. A rough scowl was evident even through his bandaged face. Zabuza looked scarier than when he was once alive. Where the hell am I, brat? Zabuza growled in his ghostly form. Naruto briefly flinched in fear before rearing back. It was insanely jarring to see the dead body of Zabuza, a body which he helped bury, back in real life. It only showed the insane capabilities of his system, and just how much power was in his hands. I said, where the hell am I? The shadow asked again, irritatingly. Active skill, Shadow Extraction LVL1. Info, shadows drain 50 MP every minute, a value which will decrease as level of skill increases. Initial extraction takes 20 MP. 50 MP? That's insane. That means only 2 minutes? Naruto thought incredulously, doing the math in his head. The skill, for now anyways, was insanely underpowered. A mere 2 minutes could decide the difference between a win and a loss in the toughest of times. She understood that. But 2 minutes was still too little. Regardless, Zabuza was a Jonin-level ninja, meaning the 2 minutes would certainly be worth it for now. And it wasn't like he was going to be this low level, If Naruto upgraded his level in shadow extraction, he could certainly decrease the MP drain, which would make the ability a monster to deal with. Naruto waved at the shadow with a trademark grin. Zabuzasan, this is Naruto Uzumaki. You know, the blonde kid from earlier. Zabuza glared back. Yeah, I can tell. Now tell me, Naruto Uzumaki, why am I still alive? And more importantly, how? He's a shadow as of now, so there wouldn't be any reason not to tell him of my ability, right? I could also pass it off as a special jutsu of my own. What did Kakashi-sensei call it? A Kekii Genkai? It's my ability, a Kekii Genkai, like Haku had. I can summon the dead in the form of shadows, or something. To be honest, it's still a work in progress. Like many other things, Naruto deadpanned. Zabuza's eyes widened. You're telling me you can summon the dead? Is this a joke, brat? You're alive right now, so what more proof do you want? How is the afterlife, anyways? Don't make a mockery of this situation. This isn't a normal Kekii Genkai. The amount of things I could do if I had something like this. Zabuza chuckled dangerously. Why did you summon me? I wanted to test the ability on someone, and you happened to die recently. So I did it for you to gauge my current ability, Naruto said. You're telling me this was all a test? A test to see whether you could summon me or not? Why didn't you summon Haku first? The demon of the mist asked, his deep voice taking on a tone of inquiry. I can't give a reason without revealing the levels, can I? What should I do here? You're a lot stronger than Haku, so I wanted to see whether I could summon you or not, pretty much. There, that wasn't too bad. Zabuza nodded in acceptance, before looking at his muscles strangely, before looking at his surroundings curiously. A look of denial spread along his eyes. Naruto observed his behavior. Wah! Zabuza picked up the wide, black sword around his back before swinging it frantically in the air, cleaving through the atmosphere and sending gusts of wind across the fields, shaking the leaves of nearby trees. It was an impressive display of swordsmanship, but both Naruto and Zabuza could notice one thing. Zabuza was weaker. Much, much weaker. Why am I so goddamn slow? Zabuza yelled in frustration, his shadow muscles flexing as he continued his onslaught. Naruto paled in realization of what had happened. The system would never be so nice to him to give him such a promising ability. It would never give him direct access to Jonin-level shinobi with a flick of a wrist. No, the system made him work for that type of power. And in this case, it made the shadow itself work. Shadow Zabuza was much, much weaker than the original. They shared the same appearance, same personality, but different stats altogether. Shadow Zabuza was around Haku's level or so? Thus, the 2 minutes became even more useless. Considering Shadow Zabuza was only level 1 as of now, he needed to level up his shadows and his shadow extraction. Naruto made haste to rectify his mistake.
We have reached the end of today What If Naruto. For part 2, like my video and comments as it motivates me.